Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
What it is, Duke City. Happy Thursday, y'all. Beautiful day out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. We are live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. For all your real estate needs, make sure you hit up John Lopez, John Lopez Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Legacy. He is the man, whether it's buying, selling, renting, being employed in the real estate industry, or any question you have, John Lopez is your dude. Welcome to a special Van and Friends episode of Two Men On here. Fred is on assignment in Colorado, and we don't have the amazing Robert Buck D. Gibson until tomorrow when we are live from Hollow Spirits. So come check us out tomorrow at Hollow Spirits. We'll be there from 4 to 7 doing the show live and then hanging out, having some coldies. Right after that, we'll be giving away some Gladiators tickets. We'll be giving away some Isotopes tickets, all tomorrow at Hollow Spirits. On the other side of the glass, hey, Marie Castillo.
Pulling from the bullpen over here.
What's happening, girl?
Oh, happy to be back again this week. So thank you.
Do you know when female producer and also stand-up comedian day is? Do you know what day that is every year?
What day?
I'm not sure. I'm asking.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Because
I'm actually just going to declare a day. I'm going to pick one.
Just pick one.
September 9th.
Because that's a great day.
That's my birthday.
I'm writing this down.
That's my birthday. You see what I did there?
Don't double dip.
Should not double dip?
Do it like 6 months apart so you get 2 days.
Let's go with January 5th.
Jan 5. Okay. It gets pretty dark the next day.
Oh, I did not plan that.
January 6th Eve is
sure.
It's comedian and producer day.
Yep.
The reason I bring this up, I mentioned it earlier, a little behind the scenes. We did a little production meeting right before the show, picked out what we're going to do. We got a lot of great guests today and a lot of great sports and sports adjacent topics to hit on. But Marie, you know that like every day is something day. Peach cobbler day. Nine-toed Hispanic woman day, whatever. Okay. Today is Shark Awareness Day. I want to unpackage this for a second. Shark Awareness Day. Who doesn't know what a shark is?
I think they're trying to make more like awareness of how important sharks are to the environment because I think people fear them, Van. I was reading up on it because I found it very interesting that every day has a national holiday.
Everything does. Yeah,
I went to the website. There's like a website. There's multiple things going on today, but shark awareness.
Well, I want to hear the rest of them. Let's unpack it.
Do you want to hear the top ones?
Hit me with the big hitters.
National Nude Day.
Nude?
Yes.
Okay,
as in,
check.
Nudist groups around the world celebrate National Nude Day by going on natural. National Tape Measure Day.
I'll be celebrating National Nude Day, but it'll be in the comfort of my own home. Yeah, for sure.
National Tape Measure Day.
Tape measure.
Because everyone has one because they're universally useful. That's their little thing behind it. And then the other, it's National Mac and Cheese Day, the king of comfort foods and a favorite of all ages all over the country. And then Shark Awareness Day.
Mac and cheese probably deserves it over all of them. Because that's a good way to shut up a kid.
Totally.
Like, no matter what mood they're in, they're like, oh, are you too excited? Are you about to bull in a china shop, my living room here? Have some mac and cheese. I'm sorry that you just learned that Lassie dies. Have some mac and cheese.
Okay, so I just love that these people, this committee, I want to call them, their mission is nothing beats a day of celebration except 365 days of them. So they have like a business. If we want to come up with the day, we can submit it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to submit National Two Men On Day.
There you go.
Putting this on my list.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. You can, yep. Oh, you can make a lot of deals with them.
Yesterday, we lobbied to have Van and Fred statues instead of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
Nothing surprises me more.
If you want to take the financial element out of it, I believe that we've done more for the community than Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. They did infuse a lot of cash into the market, so good for them.
I love how they have listed, you know how at the bottom of the website they list like, contact us, resources, our services. You can either promote an event or submit a holiday, or you can work with them if you'd like, if you're looking for a side hustle. And they want to make sure you know what the actual popular holidays are.
Can you look up when Skinny Ginger High Functioning Alcoholic Day is?
Yeah. Or you could submit it.
Okay, just start a new one.
It's not on the popular holidays list, though.
Okay, that does not seem very popular. It's not a popular thing to be honest. Okay, so now that you unpackaged it, that sounds a little more reasonable. Like, okay, sharks are important for the environment. They keep the circle of life going, you know, the food chain going, blah, blah, blah. They're going extinct. Maybe it should be possible Shark Extinction Day.
This is the thing I don't like about this. It's like, it's kind of like the participation trophy thing. Like, so just like everything gets to be a holiday. Like, what makes a holiday?
From the texter, Van usually celebrates his nudity with tape measure. Makes sense.
Is that Fred?
That is not Fred. That is friend of the
Fred's
show, Joel. Shout out to Joel. Because you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, anyways, that makes sense. Okay, if there's sharks somewhere in the world and they're being overfished or overhunted, or the water temperature because climate change is killing their coral reef, blah, 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 I'm behind that.
They help regulate the ocean, too. They help, like, maintain the ocean.
Okay, this is making more sense.
Just to let you know.
Because you don't need awareness for sharks. Everyone knows what a shark is.
Yeah, but like, also people are killing them.
Yes.
And people are deathly afraid of them, which you have more chance to be struck by lightning than attacked by a shark.
You have more of a chance to die from a vending machine accident than killed by a shark.
I've never heard of a vending machine accident.
There's like, it's like 5.5 people die every year from vending machines, whether it's like electrocution or the vending machine falling over or getting their arm stuck and no one can help them out and they die. More people die every year from vending machine accidents than shark attacks. So where's my vending machine attack awareness day? That's another one we're going to submit. 2 Men On Day and vending machine awareness attack day. Okay, I wrote both those down. That's why I was talking like that, because I was writing it down.
It's I didn't realize there were so many national days. I didn't know you could just submit it.
Yeah, I thought there would be like a board.
It's like people could have a podcast. Just like, you could have a holiday. Just submit it.
Yes.
Anyone can have a holiday.
On today's Varsity, we're doing dumbest holidays. Varsity.
Like made up ones or like actual ones that, I guess they all exist because who knew?
So that's the thing about the Varsity, Marie. It gets to be whatever you want it to be.
I'm starting to catch on to that now.
So today's I-9 Varsity is the Varsity of Dumbest Holidays. We'll hit that later in the show, maybe in the 6 o'clock hour. But we got a star-studded show for you today, Albuquerque. Let me rattle off these stars of sport and radio and screen that we have on the program today. ProView Networks and Western New Mexico's Ed Nunez will be with us next, very next segment. Lobo legend and general manager of the New Mexico TBT teams, Brandon Mason, will be here. Albuquerque Journal's Geoff Grammer will be joining us. Star of TV and radio, if you're a friend of the show, you know him already. Brandon Ortega will be with us in the 5 o'clock hour. Big win for the New Mexico United yesterday, so David Carl is going to talk about the match and what's happening next with New Mexico United. The best Van in the business, and I can take no credit at being me, Van Tate will also join us later. ProView Networks and Voice of the Gladiators, Sebastian Noel, joins us in the 6 o'clock hour. And I'm excited for this one. We got a little reunion.
Oh, yes.
old contributor to Two Men On, Izzy Gonzalez.
And I was just connected with her this week, so this is very exciting. I was literally texting with her for the first time this morning. So you guys just keep surprising me with these guests when I come up from the bullpen on Two Men On.
Izzy is insanely talented and knows everything NBA.
She was at Summer League.
She's at Summer League. Yeah, and we haven't talked in a long time, so I'm excited to have her on. We only have 15 minutes, so I don't think we can go into a lot of reminiscing, but we're gonna stick with NBA talk. And then at 6:45, right before the Isotopes try to start a new win streak, voice of the Isotopes, Josh Suschon, joins us.
I mean, this is gonna be great.
Star-studded show. 505-246-0610. Hit us up on the Sports Animal text line, not the hotline, because the phones will be plugged all day. 505-246-0610. Hit us up with your hot takes, or you can slide right into our Facebook live chat. You'll see my beautiful face today, as there is no Fred today. He is on assignment in the beautiful and historic Colorado Springs, Colorado, doing some RMAC stuff, as he is a representative of Highlands University up in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Stoked. We got a really great program for you today. Like I said, when we get back, Ed Nunez of ProView Networks and Western New Mexico University joins us, and we're going to talk some Cowboys. So get excited, NFL fan. Get excited, Dallas Cowboys fan. A lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan, and not really an apologist. Like he'll tell it like it is.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
don't hear that often from a Cowboy fan.
A Cowboy fan or any sports fan, period. We get that a lot on here. You're listening to Two Men On, live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. As always, we are powered by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. We play on Team I-9. We start our days at the YMCA, and we end our days at Hollow Spirits. And every weekend and every Isotopes game, we are sipping that watermelon walk-off by Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message is brought to you by Blake's Lottaburger.
Blake's Lottaburger has been a New Mexico icon for 70 years. Every burger is made with fresh, never frozen, premium beef with green chili that's grown, harvested, and flame roasted in Hatch, New Mexico. Come try our new chocolate birthday cake shake to mark the occasion. Happy 70th birthday to Blake's Lottaburger.
For traffic right now, we see those slowdowns continuing to grow westbound on I-40. They're going to start around 4th Street and last until Unser. This is due mainly to construction in that area of Rio Grande to about Unser. So watch out for that if you're headed that way this afternoon. Elsewhere around town, seeing some slowdowns. Southbound on I-25, those will start around San Mateo and last until Montgomery. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Jim Rome Show.
Obscenities flying, dudes trying to land haymakers, a participant flipping off everybody and then eating a pizza when it was over. That was good stuff. That was the best stuff. Baseball being baseball, guys being dudes and punching each other in the face. That's how you do a base brawl. Let the hands go, flip off the fans, and eat a pepperoni pizza in the clubhouse.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds have the bacony crunch you crave in a protein-packed, low-carb snack. They're the pork rind that tastes best for just about any event. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds are also low-sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen, so it's a no-brainer. Get through the daily grind with Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at southernrecipe.com today.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Available in the snack aisle at your local Winco today.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Psst. Hey, parents, did you hear that this little one napping right here can get the COVID vaccine? Yup, the vaccine is now available for every kid 6 months old and up. And of course, it's safe and effective. So talk to a medical provider today to schedule an appointment. Visit vaccinenm.org/kids if you'd like to learn more.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Raymond Yachts here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. That looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
New Mexico's Sports Authority, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Albuquerque. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Not necessarily a two men on today because there's only one man here and one woman behind the glass, A-Marie Castillo. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Pushing all the buttons, answering all the phones, and giving all the genius commentary as you normally do.
Did you do it? Do you know how to do it?
I
Want me to do it?
Yeah, you go for it.
I'm going to try, okay?
You do it.
There we go.
Special Van and Friends episode, and the first friend we have on today, friend of the show, friend in real life, Ed Nunez of Western New Mexico University and ProView Networks. What's happening, my guy?
Hey, Van, not too much. I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. You're always a great contributor, and we love what you do at Western and ProView and everything in the Albuquerque community. And beyond that, you are a #1 OG old school Cowboys fan. And there's very few things that Albuquerque loves more than their Cowboys. So I want to dig into what you think of the upcoming season. And let's start with the running back situation. Pollard has proven himself to be the more explosive and dynamic running back, but they're paying Ezekiel Elliott all this money. Is it the injuries? Is it the effort? What is going on with Ezekiel Elliott, and why doesn't he have the production that he used to have?
Well, I think it's a great question, and it's a very easy answer. To me, it's overuse. Someone posted a picture of him looking ripped and shredded, and that's not the case. I mean, that's not the issue. I don't think weight's been an issue for him for several seasons. But if you look at the carries he's had, he hasn't broken very many 20-yard carries as he used to with regularity, right? The volume chunk yards, the feed me for every carry. You don't see that as much anymore. One tackler gets it down much easier than they used to. They used to run with power, run through people, run around people. They had the 2016 divisional playoff last week on the NFL channel against Green Bay, and there was just a marked difference, right? I mean, you could tell he ran with burst, with power, with speed. And all the carries that he had, it's taken its toll on him. But, on the other end of that, you mentioned Pollard. He's not a three-down back yet, right? He's not. Yeah. He doesn't pick up the blitzes. He's not a great blocker. He's a change of pace back. And so I don't think you'll see him be the starter over Ezekiel Elliott. And plus, the amount of salary that they're paying Elliott, he's not going to be on the bench. But it's reduced production, right? A lot of people claim it's the offensive line. And Connor Williams, he's gone, right? And Tyler Smith will move in there at left guard. Tyler Biadasz, the center, wasn't much better. That part of the line was overwhelmed a lot, and, you can blame some of that on the offensive line as far as run blocking. But as far as Zeke Elliott goes, man, I think everyone is seeing limited returns since 2017, 2018. He still had some decent seasons, but that 2016 season was very special. We haven't seen anything like that since.
Staying on the offensive side of the ball, I am a big Dak Prescott apologist. I don't think he's going to ever be in the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes level, but I think he's a quarterback that can win a good football team, win a bunch of games. Do you think he has what it takes for the Cowboys to go to the next level?
Well, when you called me an OG, old, and it's true, man. I've been a fan since '70. That's a long time. I'm an older Cowboys fan, and we were spoiled back in the past with Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman. Tony Romo was a heck of a quarterback, right? Danny White got them to 3 straight NFC championships. And if you remember, with Tony Romo, they looked for a long time after Troy Aikman retired. They went through a number of quarterbacks before they finally got Romo. So, he's got 53 wins, right? Now, a lot of people say, well, against weak teams, and I'm the guy that says that any win in the NFL is hard to come by, right? Now, he hasn't beaten the winning teams and the better teams when the money's on the line. Against San Francisco last year, a very disappointing finish with the run with 14 seconds left. Nobody's harder on their quarterbacks than Dallas Cowboy fans, right? Nobody. I mean, they expect Danny White, right? 3 straight NFL NFC championships, isn't even in the Ring of Honor. With another team, he probably would be, right? So, I you know what? Until he's gone, that's my guy. I'm going to support him. That's the guy that I'm going to say, well, he's not going anywhere, Van, with that contract, right? He's not going anywhere for at least 2 years. So I have to hope that he's that guy. They've had some subtractions. Amari Cooper no longer there, right? So we're going to have to see how it all plays out. And then people are on Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, who started out well last year, and then they kind of tanked at the end of the year. So I think there's a lot of questions coming into the season.
Do you think Dak is a product of his own talent and ability, or he's just surrounded by above average pieces, and he might be the one that's not letting him go to the next level?
He's a 4th-round pick out of Mississippi State, right? So I remember watching him in preseason that year when he's a rookie, and I thought, hey, you know what? He looked good. He looked good. I never thought he was going to come in and be a starter. And then Tony Romo got hurt, and he broke some bones in his back, and then Dak went on that streak. And you can't take a quarterback out. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot take a quarterback out that has a 12-game win streak. There's no way any team is going to do that. A lot of people say that things have to be perfect for him to succeed. He had the big, the gruesome ankle injury. He didn't run as much from the pocket last year, and I think he was a little gun shy about that. Who can blame him? Right. That injury was one of the worst injuries I've ever seen. So I think we're going to see, Cooper's gone, right? Amari Cooper's gone, and a lot of people were saying that last year. They had CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Gallup. They had everything they needed. Everybody said, right? But again, I go back to the offensive line and the running game. They're behind the chains a lot, right? 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. Sure. A lot of penalties by that line, and I think that hurt that. But he's not that upper echelon quarterback. I think the most rankings recently have him at number 10, and that's probably about where he belongs. He's not a Rodgers or a Burrows or a Mahomes yet. Who knows if he will be? A lot of people are saying, well, he's going into his 7th year. And I hear a lot of Cowboy fans saying this, move on. Well, it's like, move on to what? To what? Cleveland has gone to do 31 quarterbacks trying to get that one guy. And I'm just going to, Van, until Dak proves to me that his contract's up, I've got to back him up. I've always done that as a Cowboy fan. Whoever the quarterback is behind center, I've got to back him up.
And I think the Cowboys are overwhelming favorites in the East. The NFC West is going to be a gauntlet. Who knows who's coming out of there? The South, the Bucs are the favorite. The North, the Packers are the favorite. But besides the Cowboys, the rest of the NFC East, anybody can rise up and contend. To me, it seems like all the Cowboys have to do to make the playoffs is beat up on their own division and win a couple games outside of that.
Next break is 6 minutes.
Right, that's been the issue with them. Again, though, Philadelphia improved. They improved. They were a playoff team. I expect them to be better this year. The Washington Commanders, they've got a new quarterback as well, Carson Wentz. I expect them to be better at some point, right? They've got the Giants seem to be the Giants, at least right now. They've got some talent too, but they haven't been able to turn it around. You remember the opening game last year at Tampa Bay? They had that game won, and a couple missed extra points by the kicker. They just didn't get it done, and that's going to be the key. A lot of people are saying this, Cowboy fans, myself included. You're beating up your own division, but you can't beat other winning teams. That's not a formula for advancing very far in the playoffs. And if you think about it, Van, 3 playoff wins in the last 26 years, that pretty much tells you the story of where Dallas has been, since 1995, last Super Bowl appearance, 3 playoff wins since then pretty much tells you where they've been.
What's going on in the Western New Mexico world with you coming up?
We're going to be out there. I signed up to this is my 3rd year to be the voice of Western New Mexico, and football team are opener there September 6th against Adams State. Volleyball, we're going to have a volleyball tournament starting there the 24th, running through the 27th. So the football team last year 1-10 under new coach Philip B. Hill, but he recruited some big linemen. And he's very excited about the season. I'll tell you, I've said this to anybody that's listening about Western New Mexico. They play in the Lone Star Conference, and that conference is a beast. It really is. Texas A&M Kingsville, UT Permian, Texas A&M Commerce. Those Texas teams have got a little bit more recruiting budget. They've got some bigger players as far as on the line, and I think that's the key to me. Can Western New Mexico improve on the line of scrimmage? Their defensive line last year wasn't bad at all. They did a good job, and their linebackers did a good job. Their offensive line, they had a lot of guys that they had to convert from defensive tackle to offensive line. It was Coach B. Hill's first season. He jumped in May of last year, so it's his first recruiting class. So, I understand the basketball team signed some players on both the men and women's side, and volleyball head coach Holly Watts also signed some taller blockers at the net, is what Western needed. They really did. They've got some good players, but those blockers at the net are really important, Van. You know that. So, you're looking forward to it. I'm on the road quite a bit. Sometimes I'll probably do this year and then maybe another year, and then it might be time to hang them, man. It sometimes gets lonely on the road at a hotel on a Friday afternoon by yourself, and you don't have your family. And like you mentioned, I'm an old dude, man, and sometimes I might have to step aside and let someone else do it. I sure am still having fun.
Ed Nunez, voice of Western New Mexico and host of the Sports Desk on ProView Networks. How did the friends of the show see you on ProView?
We are on Comcast Channel 26 on Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m., or also streamed on Facebook on Tuesdays at 11:30 a.m. We've had some really good guests lately, and I'm having a great time with the show.
Ed Nunez, the official Cowboys expert for 2 Men On right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Thanks for being a friend, and thanks for being a friend of the show. Can't wait to talk to you next time.
Van, thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great show. Take care.
When we get back, Lobo legend and GM of the TBT New Mexico teams, Brandon Mason, joins us. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
The basketball tournament is coming to the Pit starting July 18th. A team of former Lobos plays against Aggie alums in the first round. For TBT tickets, go to this station's website. Click the Sweet Deal logo. 2 tickets to the Lobo Aggie session are just $18. 2 all-session tickets for all 7 games are only $52.
Well, traffic this afternoon, westbound I-40, another problem spot this afternoon. Slowdowns mainly due to construction. Those slowdowns now extend back to 2nd Street, and they're going to last until Unser. You're going to want to be really careful and take your time if you're headed through there. Elsewhere around town, southbound I-25, San Mateo to Montgomery's moving a bit slow. Your river crossings all look good. North of town, Albuquerque to Santa Fe, I-25 moving up to speed in both directions.
This message brought to you by Matucci's.
Have you heard? Matucci's Bar Roma just opened at Wellesley and Central. Discover incredible Italian food and craft cocktails in the heart of Nob Hill, or visit any of our 4 locations across Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Little football coach Izzy Gonzalez.
Obviously, there's something more than just what Coach Saban said the other night. As a college football coach and more as a fan, what's next going to happen? So I kind of enjoyed it. All the NIL conversations you did on Friday are great. I mean, nobody knows, so keep asking questions. You might find ideas that we don't even think about.
Local talk. Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Okay, input. How is the hard drive already full? Jawan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes. MPEG. But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin. It says render failed. What I do? Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana. Taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. After you've been hurt in a car wreck, you wouldn't want to settle for getting half your car fixed. So why would you settle for getting half a check? The insurance companies have teams of adjusters and lawyers, and their sole job is to pay you as little as possible for your case. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys today. We'll work hard to get you all the money you deserve and to keep you out of the courtroom. Don't be a victim twice. Call us at 544-4444. The call and the advice are free.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love.
You have 2 more minutes, Izzy.
Again, it is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken.
Now we can try Grammer.
Good.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples cop books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents each. Plus, 2 pocket paper folders are only 25 cents each. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. N716 in-store only, limit 30.
Doug, what's wrong? You look so sad.
We just celebrated the last holiday until September. No fireworks for months.
But the celebrations continue. American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center has its summer celebration going on.
That's true. They do have inflation busters throughout the store and have biggest in-stock selection in the state, so you don't have to wait.
You can pick it up or schedule delivery.
Plus, get entered into free gas card weekly drawings, all at American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center.
And take advantage of 60-month financing. I mean, it's only $21 for every $1,000 you spend. If you do the math, you can get 2 rooms of furniture for only $63 a month. See store for details.
Steph, that totally cheered me up. I can see why American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center is your happy place. I do need to look for a new recliner.
All right, well, let's go. We can even check the
You have his number?
crazy good back there.
Only at New Mexico's own American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 in Comanche.
The two cities.
He's running a little late.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Albuquerque. You're tuned in to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. I believe Lobo legend and TBT general manager Brandon Mason might not have service as he's on his way to Las Cruces to check in on the competition.
On the
Waiting for him to call in. If not, lucky for you, you got me, Van Nunley, and across the glass, the lovely and talented A-Marie Castillo.
Woo!
Woo woo. So there were protesters at the Tour de France.
I mean,
Aren't there protesters every year at the Tour de France?
I am unaware if there has been. What were they lovely protesting today?
So this year they're protesting climate change.
Wait, do they protest every year? Was that?
I think France protests everything every year. So I mean, first off, good for them. You know, we have a democratic process that people don't often use as much as they should. Some big moments in history, sure, notwithstanding. But France goes hard on their protesting. Like, they're constantly out in the streets for something. Good for them for having a voice and using their democratic privilege. But the protesters got in the way of the race and were knocking cyclists over.
Oh my God.
And so many people blocked the tour that they had to stop the race momentarily. And you would think if they're protesting climate change, they don't want these bikers out in the sun any longer than they have to be, right? Like, let the guys ride their bikes, then go back in the shade or go back inside. If the climate is so bad, don't force these skinny European white people to be in
bikes
the sun.
that are good for the environment too.
Yes.
Bikes are good for the environment.
Protest NASCAR.
Okay.
These guys are on bikes. They are helping right now.
Okay, so this group of protesters, their quote was, "Nonviolent disruption is our last chance to be heard and avoid the worst consequences of global warming."
And they're not wrong. I'm not saying I don't support people who support climate change. We can always do better, and I appreciate it if you think so too, loyal listener. But they're riding bikes. This is probably one of your demands.
It's eco-responsible.
Right? Don't you want more people to ride bikes? There's dozens of dudes riding bikes. These guys are helpers. Do the same thing in NASCAR. Get your cardboard sign and then run out onto the Daytona 500 and try to stop that race. That will get some media attention.
I don't think they'll win that.
That will get your attention right there.
I don't think they'll win that one, man.
No, I agree. I think they will fail miserably. So, I mean, I'm so conflicted here. Like, number one, good for you. You have a cause. You're doing your part to help the world be a better place. Number two, they're on bikes. They're outside. They're not littering. They're not driving a car. They don't have like a factory farm of cows. These guys are on bicycles already. Like, they're doing their part to help out the world.
Yeah, and so they were at around 36 kilometers from the finish, which I'm not good with metrics, but they were at this, I don't know the different stages in the Tour de France, but they were during the 10th stage of the race, which seems pretty important and crucial. Maybe the climax of the race, I don't know what it is, but these pictures are awful. But this is how they think they're going to be heard for a climate crisis.
And hey, again, I'll say it over and over again. They're doing their democratic responsibility. Good for them. I think that's a crazy story.
It's a small group, too.
But I think an even crazier story. Do you remember Channing Crowder?
No.
Okay, Channing Crowder.
Well, I did because of our pre-meeting.
Yes, of course.
Anyways,
yes. Before our production meeting, did you remember Channing Crowder?
I haven't. He hasn't been on my mind.
Okay, he was like a super stud linebacker for Florida State. Played 5 years with the Dolphins in between 05 and 10.
Right.
And that just happened to be the stage that Nick Saban had his turn to try to ruin the Dolphins, which he did. Congratulations, Nick. You set the Dolphins back another decade. Well played. So Channing Crowder was a linebacker drafted in 2005. And then during the training camp, you know, they have like the rookie show, the rookie hazing or whatever. So, you know, you've heard of like the famous story of Jamarcus Russell, like refused to sing or dance or do a moment from Shakespeare. He just brought a bag of $5,000 and started making it rain on all the other rookies. That was his rookie show. Channing Crowder had probably an even better idea than Jamarcus Russell. What Channing Crowder did was he got some strippers to show up to the rookie show, and he started like having lap dances for everyone. And this is where it gets super interesting, because the coach at the time, like we said, was Nick Saban, and he told the stripper to go give Nick Saban a little dance. And apparently all she was wearing was panties, or whatever, kind of resembles panties for a dancer.
Yes.
I don't know what they call it. I don't know stripper terminology, stripper accoutrement, if you will. I'm not sure what that is. But apparently she had her boobs out, and all she had on was panties. And then where she was going to give Nick Saban a lap dance, and he allegedly grabbed her by the hips, pushed her away, got out of his chair, and ran up the stairs and didn't come back to the rest of the meeting.
I'm pretty impressed.
I mean, he ran away from that stripper harder than he ran away from his responsibilities as coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, man. I don't know if I'm surprised or not. I'm not surprised, actually. He's a very business guy, you know what I mean? Very routine guy. I mean, he was there, though, at the rookie show night, whatever you want to call it. Are you surprised by this, man?
Well, I mean, a little bit. Like, not, I believe Brandon Mason from the TBT tournament is joining us now. We're going to talk some TBT tournament. We're going to talk some Lobo basketball and get him on. We good to go? Welcome to the program, Lobo legend, GM of the TBT New Mexico, Brandon Mason. What's happening, my guy?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's talk. We're a little behind, so let's just jump right into it. An amazing matchup in between alumni from the Lobos and alumni from the Aggies. That is going down this coming Monday at 8 o'clock at the Pit. How big of a deal is this for Albuquerque and New Mexico?
I think it's extremely huge when you can have ESPN and Puma and all these different pros coming in from out of state, but also by them selecting us to come here because of the venue and the fans and everything that New Mexico has to offer. It says a lot about the community, the universities, and everything that's been going on for years, and expecting to go forward for years to come. So hopefully we can continue to build on this, and it just grows into something huge.
So how's the rivalry in between these guys? Because a lot of these guys all played against each other, because you have a bunch of different ages on both teams and different classes and different eras for the Lobos and the Aggies. Is that rivalry still there, or is it just a bunch of the dudes going out and hooping?
Well, of course the rivalry is still there. They all remember each other when they played. I had a barbecue last night, and Darius Gary was talking about how good Jamar Young, JY, was when he played against him. And he was like, man, I can't wait to get back on the court with some of these guys and yada, yada, yada. But one thing we have to remember, it's not an alumni game. They're playing for a chance to win $1 million. So you can only imagine how hard they're going to play. And it's on national television. It's on ESPNU. So when something like that is you have a lot at stake. They're getting in shape. There's practices. It's a lot of seriousness behind it, and they're going to play with pride and represent their universities.
So are you going to stay in suit and tie, just be the GM, or are you going to get out on the court too?
Definitely going to stay off to the side. Because, I'm right now I'm down in Las Cruces with the Panamaniacs, because I have to get them rolling with some stuff, and then I'm driving back tonight, and then I have to get back to practice tomorrow for the Enchantment, and so I'm kind of like I'm running kind of both sides and trying to make sure that everybody has what their needs are, but I can't lean either way, and I don't want to sit on the bench or give information or do anything and just let the coaches. That's why I pick certain coaches and players, and so it could be a really good atmosphere and really good game.
The Panamaniacs and the Enchanted play each other at the Pit this coming Monday at 8 o'clock as the last game in a quadruple header. A lot of basketball going down at the Pit on Monday. So who's coaching these teams?
Well, for the Enchantment,
We have Kenny Thomas, who's a Lobo legend.
Yep.
And then I reached out to a friend of mine, Jerome Robinson, who was on staff there for 3 years while I was coaching there during the Paul Weir era, who's a really good coach. So he adds a piece. Dave Chiotti, who was a former player there, and he coaches in town as well with some youth organizations, and he does a really good job. And Jay Hill, who's probably one of the best trainers and developers in New Mexico up there in Albuquerque. And then down here and down south with the Panamaniacs, I got Mario Mocha, the AD, who's the heart and soul of, the university, being a former baseball player, and, it's him bringing it, being the face and just the everything for this team in the first year. I thought he'd be a good selection. And then Preston Laird was the associate head coach who was on staff here when Pascal Siakam played here during that era. He coaches at Arkansas Little Rock right now. And I added some other pieces like Billy Keys and Mike Nunez and William Benjamin, Keith Roberts, Justin Tabor, guys like that who was around the program in really good eras that could really give something back to these guys and that they will respect.
So the Enchanted has a lot of the greats from the last decade or so playing on the team. I was there in person last year for the scrimmage, and that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it stepped up to the next level and having the actual tournament here. Going to be some great basketball being played at the Pit next week. There's a really cool story on the Enchanted that we haven't given enough attention to on the show. But what is it like for Scott Bamforth to be able to join all of his other Albuquerque and Lobo ballers?
Yeah, it's a really good feel for him. He never played at New Mexico. He's New Mexico born, played at Del Norte High School. For him to be able to be this far in his professional career playing at the highest level and being able to bring that back and have his family and friends and everybody come watch him. And I mean, I think he's really taking it all in and enjoying the process. And because he's played at a high level, but nobody's been able to see it because he's been overseas playing, such a high level and made a lot of money and doing a lot. But, he went to practice the last few days. And when I tell you, he is an amazing player. He was on that NBA cusp very easily. So that team and on that roster. And Kenny Thomas is so excited to have him. He said, Mace, you might be GM of the year for that pickup.
Oh, nice. Really excited to be there. I will be there in person. Let's just rattle this off real quick, Amer. Are you ready for this? J.R. Giddens, Roman Martinez, Doris Gary, Philip McDonald, Darian Hobson, Jamal Fenton, Drew Gordon, Pancake Thomas, Joe Fursinger, Elijah Brown, Anthony Mathis, and the just aforementioned Scott Bamforth. If you're a Lobo fan, this is priority number one to get out there and watch these guys ball against the hated rival Panamaniacs. How does a loyal listener, how does a friend of the show get tickets to this?
Oh, well, you can go to golobos.com. You can buy all the passes, which is I think $50, and you can go watch every game because there's going to be some high level basketball. But then you can also buy session 2 tickets to come watch our game, which is the showcase game at night at 8 p.m. And I think those are either $14 or $18. So you can buy a single ticket in and go watch both of the nightcap games as well. So go Lobos.com and you can go right there, click on the TBT matchups, and you can purchase right there very easily.
All right, appreciate having you on. Good luck on Monday. And hey, is this really a 4 versus 5 matchup? I feel like the standings were juiced a little bit to get these guys to play each other in the first round. Who's behind this? Is this your work?
No, it's definitely not my work. But at the end of the day, it's the matchup that our players are happy to have and they want it. It doesn't matter when the matchup is, if it's first or second or championship. I mean, at the end of the day, they're coming from overseas and other states and different things, and why not come play against your rival team and give everything you got right away? So I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm not behind it, though. I'm not behind it.
It's not your brainchild. Hey, really appreciate you joining us, Brandon. Loyal listener, friend of the show. Make sure you get out to the Pit next week and support the basketball tournament. Going to be a lot of fun. Brandon Mason, thanks once again for joining us. We'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
When we get back, Brandon Mason's buddy, Geoff Grammer, joins us. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today. This report is sponsored by Allstate.
Traffic right now, we do have a crash. It is southbound on I-25 as you approach Montgomery. We are seeing some slowdowns and backups associated with that. Watch out as you make your way through there. The big issue this afternoon continues to be westbound on I-40, where we've got that construction and road work going on. Slowdowns are going to start way back at 2nd Street, and they're going to last you until uncertain.
It's the Malloy Los Lunas used car blowout. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all priced to sell. Shop Malloy Ford, Chevrolet, and Jeep in Long.
So we're back in a minute 30.
To save. MalloyLosLunas.com.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is JR with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Wrangler Jeans. Visit Wrangler.com for the best in denim. Wrangler, for the ride of life. LeBron James had to clarify his thoughts on the USA's efforts to bring back Brittany Griner. And Brian Urlacher says some former NFL players are faking CTE for financial gain. With so many different podcasts and shows, a lot of guys are just talking out the side of their necks. I'm JR.
The Jim Rome Show.
Only a great team could end the Bullets dynasty, and the Colorado Avalanche are just that. They are great. You're not going to fluke your way to beating Tampa Bay 4 times in a series. Nobody had done that in 3 years. I'm not going to say the Avalanche were built to beat the Lightning, but the Avalanche were built to beat the Lightning. They've got youth and experience and amazing speed, and they have Cale Makar, a very special dude.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Sound off right now at 246-0610. Come
on! Welcome back, Duke City. Thanks for Brandon Mason joining us, talking about the basketball tournament at the Pit next week. Really excited for that. I love when big events come to Albuquerque. We may be sports adjacent here, but I love me some Albuquerque sports, especially big events, especially when you get to fill out the Pit and have some fun with it. Joining us now, Albuquerque Journal's Geoff Grammer, not only with the Albuquerque Journal, also chili race and La Bamba enthusiast. What's happening, my dude?
Not a whole lot, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing, man. Just talking sports and sports-adjacent content on a special Van and Friends episode of 2 Men On. We just had your buddy, Brandon Mason, on talking about TBT. You going to be there on Monday?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there Monday. I'm actually going to head out to one of the practices here tonight. Mason's down in Cruces, right?
Yeah, he's down in Cruces right now. He's double dipping.
So he is double dipping, and he is the guy who set up both teams. So good for him. But he is not really welcome anymore on the group chats for the teams anymore, from what I'm told. So he may be the guy that set all this up, and all the players and coaches are talking to one another on these group chats and making Zoom calls to set up practice times and all this stuff, because these guys are all over, not just the country but the world right now. And Brandon right now is pretty much the guy as the game gets closer that nobody's trusting anymore on either team.
Why? You think he's like shaving points off both sides? What do you think he's orchestrating this?
I don't know. Like all I know is he hangs up with the Enchantment and the former Lobo players, and then he gets on the phone with the former Aggie players. There's some nervous people now. As Brandon is playing both games right now, playing both teams right now.
Let's talk a little Lobo basketball. Hard segue here. I want to start with the top because I really love what the Lobos have done with their basketball program, with their football program, getting Coach Danny Gonzalez and Coach Richard Pitino. Do you have the same level of faith and anticipation that I do about Coach Pitino?
Well, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. Everybody in this town wanted Craig Neal about 9 years ago, to the point where they didn't even do a search because there was so much pressure from fans put on the regents and then the university president that they just hired the guy everybody wanted and everybody was excited. That was a failure. Then they hired Paul Weir 4 years later. Some people liked him, some people didn't. Turned out 4 years later, he's gone. The Pitino hire kind of surprised a lot of people, so I think it took a while for fans and people around the university to get used to him. As far as whether or not it's going to work, I think he, out of those two, certainly has far more experience than either one of those coaches had as a head coach. And you can tell so far
2 minutes until music.
and how he's running going into year two, how he's running the program compared to the previous two coaches. Now, Steve Alford before Craig Neal, we're talking three coaches ago now.
Right.
He had head coaching experience. You could tell he was running a program different. Pitino's running the program different from the start, just like Alford did, because he has that head coaching experience. So I do think there's a big difference in what the previous two coaches did.
Some big additions in the offseason for the Lobos. Their biggest weakness last year, it felt, was height, was size, was defense down low. And they got some big additions. How big are these additions going to be for next year's incantation of Lobo basketball?
Look, I don't know if they're going to go win the Mountain West or anything, but they addressed every need they had. Like if you were to list the top 4 or 5 kind of priorities that they had going into this offseason, adding strength in the front court was one of them. Because they have a 6'11" guy in Prima Sek. The problem is he's 6'11", weighs about 190, has no strength. They have a very athletic power forward in J. Allen Tovar, who's about 6'9", maybe pushing 6'10", can jump out of the gym, but he can't stop anybody physically. He's one of the weaker players on the entire roster. So they had some height. They had no strength whatsoever. They had a freshman, Sebastian Forsling, who had some strength, but is still kind of catching up to the speed of the game. So the two guys they added in the front court, Josiah Alec, a transfer from UMKC, and Morris Uzazi from Wichita State, those are two. They automatically are the two strongest guys. The day they joined the roster, the two strongest guys on the roster. And Morris Uzazi is one of the strongest players probably in the last decade for the Lobos, at least. He is very strong. So strength, they're not going to get bullied anymore in the front court. They may still have some other issues that they're going to have to face, but strength was the number one issue, and they addressed that in a big way.
More Lobo talk and more NBA basketball talk with Geoff Grammer of the Albuquerque Journal when we get back. I'm going to spend a special shout out to New Mexico Pinon Coffee. We love the product that they give to the New Mexico community, and we love everything they do for the New Mexico community. Make sure, just like 2 Men On, you start your mornings with New Mexico Pinon Coffee, New Mexico's coffee. More 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
The basketball tournament is coming to the Pit starting July 18th. A team of former Lobos plays against Aggie alums in the first round. For TBT tickets, go to this station's website. Click the Sweet Deal logo. 2 tickets to the Lobo Aggie session are just $18. 2 all-session tickets for all 7 games are only $52.
Traffic right now, we do have a crash. It is southbound on I-25 as you approach Montgomery. We are seeing some slowdowns and backups associated with that. Watch out as you make your way through there. The big issue this afternoon continues to be westbound on I-40, where we've got that construction and road work going on. Slowdowns are going to start way back at 2nd Street, and they're going to last you until uncertain.
Are you ready to make home homier? Get it done with Home Equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union can help with a home equity loan or line of credit. Learn more at kirtlandfcu.org/homeequity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. You belong. An equal housing lender. Membership eligibility required.
This report is brought to you by Kirtland Federal Credit Union.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jerome with your Rome Report. Thank goodness the biggest story of the first half of the Major League Baseball season has jumped the day. Tommy Pham slapping Jock Peterson, except there's a third man in now. And knowing this guy the way I know this guy, he wants no part of it. I'm talking about Mike Trout. Apparently, Mike Trout was the commissioner of this now infamous fantasy football league. And I'm not sure whether or not Tommy Pham was kidding or not when he said this. He said that Trout was the commissioner of the league and that, quote, Trout did a terrible job, man. Trout's the worst commissioner in fantasy sports because he allowed a lot of bleep to go on and he could have solved it all, end of quote. I don't want to get on the wrong side of Tommy. It seems to me there are two types of people in the world. People who want to be a fantasy commissioner and those who don't. And those who do are losers. Either that or the best guy ever.
All right. Record-breaking temperatures forecasted this summer. Unhealthy air quality due to wildfire smoke.
30 seconds.
A mega drought.
Enhance your comfort, air quality, and save water with refrigerated air from Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Start your refrigerated air project today. Daniels offers best-in-the-business warranties, expert installers, and superior equipment. And the hassle of climbing onto your roof to replace swamp cooler parts and start enjoying the comfort and reliability of an air conditioning system that works for you. Learn more at danielshvacnm.com.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now batting for the Sports Animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Welcome back, Duke City. If you're just getting off work, congratulations. You made it through another one. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. And Two Men On would not be here without our friends and partners and sponsors in the community. One being your local YMCA. The boys start their days at the YMCA. The facilities are fantastic. The people are fantastic. And everything that they do for the community is fantastic. Special shout out to the YMCA. Joining us again, as we didn't have enough time for him last segment. It's unfair just giving 4.5 minutes to this legend. Geoff Grammer of the Albuquerque Journal joining us. Before the break, you mentioned the big men on Lobo basketball. And my favorite, the guy who has a special place in my heart, is Sebastian, the Swedish street ball Forsling. And he really just hasn't grown in to his size. He really hasn't grown into the hand-eye coordination it takes to play basketball at this level. But are you with me to think that he has all the tools and we might see something special here?
Yeah, no, I'm on board with. So here's kind of what's changed in college basketball the last several years is you don't see the development of players very much anymore partly because of the transfer portal, partly because schools fire coaches after 3 years, maybe 4. You don't take the time to wait on a kid 2 or 3 years down the road like you used to. TBT's in town. You know, there's a guy on that roster for the Enchantment who's playing at a good level overseas right now who probably wasn't ready to play until his junior and senior year for the Lobos, and Joe Furstinger. You saw Cameron Thurstow, a Lobo legend who got drafted by the Chicago Bulls, wasn't ready freshman year, developed into one of the biggest, strongest players that the Lobos have had in a really long time. But it's because you used to be able to wait a couple of years for a player to develop into that. Sebastian fits that mold. He's a guy that, a couple of years, maybe 5 years ago in college basketball, nobody would think much of what he looked like on the court last year. Now there are some people who saw him play, and they may like him. You like him. I like him. I think he's going to develop into something pretty good. But there are other people who saw him and said, oh, he can't play at this level. What are they doing? Yeah. Well, it's because he's a freshman. And he's an international freshman. They play a much different style of basketball overseas than the physical game they play in the United States. So I think Sebastian Forsling is going to be just fine.
He was just forced into a much bigger role than he ever imagined he was going to be in last year when the Lobos entered the season losing one center before the season even started. They lost another center 12 games into the season when he transferred. And then the guy they moved into the center spot, Emmanuel Quatch, broke his leg the first game he started in early January. So then you're left with basically Sebastian Forsley, a freshman we thought he was going to redshirt, being your only center on the team. So I think he's going to develop into something pretty good. I do think that this year, the best thing going for him is that those two big guys they got as transfers can eat up the bulk of the minutes, and his role isn't going to be the you're our only big man kind of role. It's going to be, hey, go get your 15, 20 minutes, and it's kind of as a secondary role. Now he gets to develop, and I like him. I like his future.
Friends of the show already know that I am an Albuquerque sports homer. Whatever's going on in Albuquerque, I will make sure to highlight and give it all the praise that it deserves. One of those things being basketball at the Pit, especially the backcourt that the Lobos are going to run with next year. Can you tell the loyal listener how special this backcourt is, and we might not see one this good for a while?
Yeah, look, the transfers that came in last year that both made third team all league, and Jamal Mashburn Jr. transferred from Minnesota, and Jalen House, the guy who came in from Arizona State, they had big names, but neither one of them had huge roles at their previous school. So while there was excitement, there was a little bit of, okay, we got to see if they can do it as the lead guys. Well, both of them did it as the lead guys last year. They were arguably the best backcourt last year in the conference. They were probably, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I don't know who else is going to be in contention with them to be the best backcourt in the conference this year. So they're probably the best returning backcourt. They're the second highest scoring duo in the backcourt. Wyoming returns their two leading scorers who averaged a little bit more than House and Mashburn, but one of them's a big man. So anyway, I think the Lobos have exactly what they want in their two starters, but what makes their backcourt probably even more impressive going into this season, and the reason there is some optimism building around this program.
The next break's like 5 minutes.
Only 13 games this past season, but now has a chance to maybe flirt with contending in the Mountain West for a championship in just a quick 2-year turnaround for Patino, is that they have a backup in KJ Jenkins who would start for a whole lot of Mountain West teams, and they have a freshman in Donovan Dent who was Mr. California, the best player in California, who would start as a freshman on a whole lot of teams. Those are going to be your two backup guards. And while that's 4 undersized guards, they're between 6 foot and 6'3", and some teams have guards who are 6'5", 6'6". Those are 4 really dynamic undersized guards. They put pressure on opposing defenses. Like, sometimes you hope for one guard that can put the kind of pressure and attack the opposing defense the way all 4 of these guards are able to do. So they do have something going in the backcourt, and I think that there's a reason, and justifiably so, for a lot of optimism about this backcourt. The only obvious knock is that they're a little bit small, but man, they can score. They really can.
Who do you predict will be the most improved player next year? Who's the guy that Lobo fan might not see coming?
Well, so by saying they don't see him coming, I think he's been a favorite for 2 years now. Javonte Johnson is a guy who I think Lobo fans 2 years ago, when they didn't even play here, people liked him because he came with so much kind of hype out of Colorado Springs as a freshman. He even started some games as a freshman in Paul Weir's last year. Last year, he started every game. He had a couple big games, but then he would follow them up with like 0-point games where he didn't even take a shot. He wasn't being necessarily assertive enough and making his own shots. They weren't always doing a good enough job getting him involved. I think he's the guy that this year, going into his 3rd year as a Lobo, his 2nd year as a full-time starter at the 3 spot, I think he's the guy that's going to find a comfort that he hasn't had yet, where you're not going to see any game again where he doesn't at least attempt a few shots. He's going to be aggressive, and he has the talent, and frankly, he has quite a bit of strength too, where he can play and cause matchup problems for opposing teams. He doesn't have to play the big man position that he wasn't like he played last year. He doesn't have to play the guard position like sometimes he had to 2 years ago because he's not really a guard. He's a 3. He's a wing, and he can play that position now. And he's not going to be out of position playing against bigger guys or smaller guys. He's going to be going against guys that are his size, and he's going to be in the comfort zone this year that I think will afford him the luxury of probably averaging close to double digits, and he might be the third leading scorer on this team next year.
Geoff Grammer of the Albuquerque Journal joining us. I got a question about one of your favorite things. I got a fun fact about your other favorite thing. Question first. Have you charted all of the chili races? Is there like a dominant favorite, whether it's red, green, taco, or salsa? Is there a trend emerging?
First of all, yes. There's a chart actually in the Isotopes press box that keeps track of every chili race. And what I want to say to that is Taco used to be the hands down favorite. Like, not only the fan favorite, everybody cheered for him, but he won most of the time. And now,
which doesn't make sense because he's not aerodynamic.
Well, I've been hyping him up for a couple of years now, and then all of a sudden, now I think the fix is in, and I don't know what's going on. If there's performance-enhancing drugs going on, or what it is, a little MSG for some of these other food items, but this year Taco is by far, I think, or a distant third, maybe even fourth behind. I think both chili peppers, red and green, are ahead of him, and I think salsa jar might even be ahead of him, which makes no sense to me at all. Salsa jar should not be in the conversation. We all love salsa, but not as a running mascot.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, the salsa jar is more of like a David Wells, Bartolo Colon type to me. Like, he's a niche athlete, not really the running type. Here, let me tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
So when I'm at the Topes game, which I often am, we usually bet a beer on the chili race. And I'll tell you my secret to betting on the chili race is whoever has the nicest athletic shoes. That's who I choose. So, is that a good strategy?
It actually is. You're not alone. So apparently, and I don't believe this, but some people subscribe to this notion that maybe there's people in those mascots in these uniforms.
That's insane.
Tacos is their own thing. Yeah, I know. But there is some people in the press box who seem to think that there's actual people in there, and the ones with the best tennis shoes or sneakers might be some coworkers that they sometimes know, so they can actually identify when they see them come out based on their shoes, and they know. And I think that's highly unfair. But if you subscribe to that, go for it. I do think it's probably a safe bet, but I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, Taco is its own thing. Taco is not. And I keep saying is. I don't know. It's gender neutral Taco. I don't know if it's a he or she is a they. Taco is very much its own thing, and I don't know what this whole there's somebody in the outfit kind of thing that they have going on.
It's not like all dogs are boys, all cats are girls kind of thing. Like all green is a dude, all red is a lady. Like they're all they them unisex characters.
They are. I think they are. Until look. I could be wrong on this, and I've never looked, but as far as I know, I think they are very much a group of gender-neutral running mascots.
Fair enough. Fun fact for you, I played poker with your favorite character from your favorite movie. I bluffed Richie Valens off of Pocket Jacks about 5 years ago. And of course, I didn't bluff the real Richie Valens, as he is very old and very deceased. But I played poker with Lou Diamond Phillips, and I bluffed him off of jacks with a trash hand. So there's a little fun fact for La Bamba for you.
Where was this?
Sandia Casino. Lou Diamond Phillips was shooting some kind of movie up north.
Okay. So Lou Diamond Phillips, obviously, of Richie Valens fame, and that kind of made his career, as he is credited often. But if he's not a poker player, I'm okay with that, because he already gave me everything I need from him when he made that movie, the best movie of all time.
Geoff Grammer, the Albuquerque Journal. How do the friends of the show follow you?
At Geoff Grammer on Twitter. I'm on it way too much, but I'll respond. You got something to say or something to ask, I'll spend way too much time on Twitter, at Geoff Grammer.
Thanks for being a friend, and thanks for being a friend of the show, Geoff.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
When we get back, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega joins us. More sports-adjacent content on Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right, traffic right now. We are still dealing with that crash southbound on I-25 as you approach Montgomery. That is affecting your right lane. It is causing quite a bit of backup, so you're going to want to be careful as you make your way through there. And speaking of backups, westbound on I-40 been a problem spot all afternoon. It continues to be. We've got slowdown starting as you approach the interchange. They're going to stick with you until you get to Unser. So watch out for that as well. Paseo headed west this afternoon between Jefferson and Gores. We're seeing quite a bit of congestion in that area. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I'm going to tell you, think outside the box. The way it's always been about the majors, the tradition, the Masters, U.S. Open, the Open Championship, the PGA. But if LIV decides to create their own majors with major payouts, what is more important? Making insane amounts of money or a chance to go win a green jacket or a claret jug? Most of those guys will find it more important to make money.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
What if you could feel better and look better, and it could all start with one phone call? Guys, that's reality if you call New Mail. It's Jeff Symbieta. Gentlemen, for a while I've been telling you about New Mail, how thousands of men all over the country feel better because they went to New Mail and took care of things like fatigue, depression, even erectile dysfunction. Well, thousands of men are also taking advantage of New Mail's industry-leading hair restoration techniques. Hair restoration without side effects. Here's a number, 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or go to newmail, NUMALE.com. You have options. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants producing natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. And it works for men and women who want natural, thicker hair. 505-652-1688 or online at newmail.com.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota's hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Want to stand in our way? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Visit your Albuquerque Santa Fe Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Indigo Mortgage is proud to serve veterans with honesty.
Of course, your bestie is on time.
And in these last 20 years, veterans have trusted Indigo Mortgage for purchases or refinances utilizing their VA home loan benefits. Indigo Mortgage is known in the veteran community to offer some of the lowest rates and fees in New Mexico. Veterans refer veterans, and we take that very serious, as they are trusting us to make sure their fellow vets get the best rates and fees on the market. Veterans know they can trust Indigo Mortgage, and we set ourselves apart from the big national lenders who are interested in profits rather than serving our veterans. And if you're a veteran looking for any kind of home loan, make sure to shop your mortgage around and be sure to shop your trusted local mortgage company, Indigo Mortgage, serving veterans for the last 20 years. Reach us on the net at indigomortgage.net or by calling 836-5700. That's 836-5700. NMLS 23-1962 and 18834.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A Chicken Biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents each. Plus, 2 pocket paper folders are only 25 cents each. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. N716 in-store only, limit 30.
The king of sports talk.
I have not given myself enough credit lately.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Duke City. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Amory, you ever go to Hollow Spirits?
They're really good friends of mine.
You,
I've done comedy there often.
That's what I was about to say. You do shows there sometimes.
And they're just really good friends of mine. When I first went back to Albuquerque, they welcomed me with open arms, and they're just awesome. And if you haven't been, go.
100% go. I'm not just saying this because they pay us, which they do. But I love Hollow Spirits even before we started this relationship together. Great food, great drinks, great service. And they always got a cool event going on there.
Yeah, very unique.
It's Amory's comedy nights or Van and Fred's New Mexico United watch parties, whatever they got going on, they do it well. And it's a lot of good time.
I also like how they're always switching up their menu and their drinks, too.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, they take it very seriously.
It's a very unique place. It's cool.
For me, it's like the perfect gray area in between like Pinky's Out, Too Nice, and then just like Cheers.
Right.
It's like, the perfect middle ground, like really good food and
And
drink,
a lot of
really
ladies,
inviting atmosphere.
A lot of ladies go there, so fellas, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Go swipe in real life.
Speaking of swiping, I swiped right on this guy. Back to back, New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, a star of TV and radio, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega. What's happening, my guy?
Hey, buddy. So is right the good way?
That's the good one. Yeah.
I've never been on that stuff, so.
Yeah, I know you've been in love for the better part of a decade and just married.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah. Well, and then even back in the day when the single life was happening, didn't do the Tinder stuff. Like Anne-Marie said, you swipe in real life. That's the way to go.
For sure. I call it.
I swiped right on my husband.
Really? Are you guys
we met on Bumble.
An app couple? A Bumble couple?
Yeah, they give you a free bottle of champagne when you get married.
No way.
Not just FYI.
All right.
But thank you, Brandon.
Who should I fake marry to get free champagne?
For real, dude.
Yeah. Brandon? Wait, no, that's illegal. He's already married. Never mind. Hey, Brandon. I got caught up on the Marvel universe. I'm ready to go watch Thor. Do you want to go watch it again?
I'll go watch it again. Julian will go watch it again, too. Yeah, for sure. Let's rock.
Let's do pencil me in for this weekend sometime. Let's go watch it.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's do it.
So I'm a big Taika Waititi homer. Whatever he does, I'm in love with, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, Taika's the man. He's on fire. And I was just watching What We Do in the Shadows last night.
Love
Brand
it.
new season.
New season just came out, right?
It just did.
That is a unpaid advertisement for Taika Waititi. Check out his stuff. So you did a really cool story, or am doing a cool story on Andrea Howard of UNM softball. Tell the friends of the show about that.
Well, we're running a story tonight on how she has been nominated on behalf of UNM as the NCAA Woman of the Year.
What?
That's a short story we're running tonight. But she was also in the Olympics last year with Italy's softball team, and she was the home run queen, the new home run queen of UNM softball. I mean, when it comes to softball, she is regarded as the best UNM softball player of all time. Just wrapped up her career. But yeah, today the story is NCAA Woman of the Year. She is one of the nominees on behalf of UNM, and that's basically an award that goes to a student athlete that's getting it done on the field, off the field. She just finished her bachelor's degree in working towards studying medicine. She's just had the list of her accomplishments you could talk about for hours. And yeah, she's just Albuquerque's shining star. La Cueva grad, Albuquerque native, had a most decorated career at UNM ever for the softball team. So yeah, she's one of the best of all time.
That's really cool. What's do you know the criteria for NCAA Woman of the Year? Is this a mix of athletics and academics and community service? How does this work?
Yeah, it's all the above, exactly. And Andrea was not only an all-conference softball player and nominated to be an All-American, she was an academic first-team All-American multiple times during her softball career. So yeah, a person that's got it done on the field, off the field, in the community. During the heart of the pandemic, she was doing COVID research and just getting in the nitty-gritty of studying medicine and figuring out if she wants to be a doctor or do something else. So she's still beginning her medical career as we speak. So shout out to Andrea for another recognition. She hasn't played a softball game in months, and the recognition keep calling in for her.
A beautiful, genius, talented, Italian, New Mexican softball star. Only if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and totally strike out with her. What else you got going on?
You would have swiped right.
Yeah, I would have swiped right and then got dissed on the first date because I can't hold a candle to how gorgeous and talented and amazing she is.
So we'll be talking about Andrea Howard tonight. We'll be talking about TBT, the basketball tournament coming to.
The next break is another 5-minute break.
Monday. It tips off on Monday. Ryan Berryman is in the athletic department. I want to say his exact title is a long one. Director of Athletics for Business Operations, Associate Athletic Director of Business Operations. A New Mexico native, grew up in the East Mountains, then went to school at UNM, got a bachelor's degree, 2 master's degrees, worked for the Lobo basketball team for 7 years, then jumped into the athletic department. You talk about someone else that got it done on and off the field too. Someone within the athletic department doing great things, and now the co-general manager during the summer of the Enchantment, and he's been a big part of organizing all of this work that goes into hosting a regional, whether it be helping his team, helping the other teams find a hotel to stay at, getting local organizations to work for the event. He's someone that's been doing a lot of great work over the years, so we'll talk with him tonight about TBT and how excited he is to have it in town.
What's going on with your Lakers? Are they going to get Kyrie? And as a Lakers fan, do you even want Kyrie?
I don't really want him. Look, he's one of the best point guards currently in the NBA, but there's something to be said about all the turmoil that comes with him. Everywhere he's been, doesn't matter if it's the Cavs, Celtics, now the Nets, he can't get his stuff together when it comes to being a team player. And you can say what you want about vaccinations, and you can say what you want about taking time off for personal reasons. He's never been a team-first guy, and I want team-first players. And Russell Westbrook is way more of a team-first player than Kyrie Irving. So I'd like to stick with Russell Westbrook one more season to see how that goes. I obviously went up in flames last year, but we didn't have Anthony Davis for the majority of last season. So I don't think you really get a real look at what Russ Westbrook could be with the Lakers without playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis for the majority of the season.
I would like to see Kyrie there because I think LeBron's biggest accomplishment was winning a championship in Cleveland, not only with Cleveland, but he had the head case that was Kevin Love, and then the mega multi-giant head case that is Kyrie Irving. I don't think he gets enough credit for having Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving and managing that locker room and winning a championship with them.
I think he gets plenty of credit. I think that was an amazing accomplishment, arguably the most meaningful championship he has won in his career, winning 2 with the Heat, 1 with the Cavs, 1 with the Lakers. Yeah, the one with the Lakers was in the bubble, but someone had to win it, and the Lakers ended up winning it. So, yeah, but I mean, back on Kyrie, yes, he's one of the best players in the league, but I want a team-first guy, and I want to see who else they're going to bring in. Even if you have Kyrie, even if you have Russell Westbrook, who else are they bringing in? That's what I'm just as concerned about as of anything, because it takes a deep roster to win a championship. It takes a good bench. It takes a good number 5, number 6 guy contributing. So they got to fill the roster out with a lot of other good players that are at least going to embrace roles. They don't have to be superstar players. You just got to bring in people that can play a good role.
KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega, thanks for being a friend, and thanks for being a friend of the show. How do the loyal listeners follow you?
Yeah, KLB.com/sports. We'll be posting lots of new local content tonight. At Brandega on Twitter. I try to tweet as much as I can about work, but I'm mostly tweeting about my 4-year-old son. And I just running around Albuquerque having fun. So that's what we do on social media. And, hey, always a pleasure being on with you, man.
Let's hit the link soon, and let's get me caught up on the Marvel Universe. Let's watch some Thor soon.
Anytime. Let's do it.
KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega. When we come back, New Mexico United's David Carl. More sports and sports-adjacent content on 2 Men On. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, traffic right now, that crash southbound I-25 as you approach Montgomery, that has been cleared, but we're still seeing quite a bit of slowdowns in that area. So watch out for that as things slowly get back up to speed. Westbound on I-40, slowdowns now extending all the way back to Carlisle, and they're going to stick with you until Unser. So be careful as you make your way through there. And westbound Paseo between Jefferson and Coors, that is a slow go right now. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Go over this total at Wrigley. I'm Erin Hawksworth here to help you beat the books with BetQL. The Mets and Cubs open a 4-game set at Wrigley Field tonight. The wind is blowing dead in from center field, but the BetQL model still likes the over. BetQL has over 8 as a 4-star best bet. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetQL app today.
Okay, import footage. How is the hard drive already full?
Jawan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes.
SMPEG.
But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin.
It says render failed. What did I do?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana. Taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live horse racing excitement returns Saturday, July 30th at Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino with first post at 6:05 p.m. Yes, it's back. Live racing at its best. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays with first post 6:05 p.m. and Sundays at 1:30 p.m. Watch and wager on live simulcast at the Grandstand or First Turn Lounge while enjoying great food, your favorite beverages, and our amazing staff and service you've always enjoyed. Welcome back, New Mexico, in the heart of it all.
Are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Listen carefully because now there are new regenerative treatments available here. Hey, it's Geoff Grammer. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, is now open, giving lasting relief to people with joint pain using the latest in precision medicine with natural biologics. It's an exciting, non-surgical approach that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints and get you moving again. QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics nationwide.
About a minute 30.
With an incredible success and satisfaction rate. If you've got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, you need to check out these new treatments. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, no surgery. Call now to schedule your free consultation with local medical professions at QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. That's 505-226-8688.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Now's your chance for a refresh with savings up to $500 off select computers, like the XPS and select.
Living on the edge here.
In performance to the with Intel Core processors, plus shops
Not yet.
on top accessories. Great financing available with a Dell Preferred account and free shipping. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877.
Called birthday time.
Job recession proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
The only part of your morning that doesn't suck. The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program. It's a Fredless Thursday. Fred Slow is on assignment, Colorado Springs, Colorado. He'll be back with us on Monday. Tomorrow, catch the boys, Van Nunley and Robert Buck D. Gibson, live from Hollow Spirits. If you haven't been to Hollow Spirits, I highly recommend you check it out. Great food, great drink. And the boys will be there tomorrow from 4P to 7P, and then we'll be hanging out after. Hey, DC says the line is broke. Can you,
Let me see.
clear it out and let him back in? Joining us shortly is David Carl, New Mexico United, having some tech diffs, but hey, nothing super producer A. Marie Castillo can't handle. So we're talking. And okay, yeah, DC, try to call back. I'll text you too. Brandon Ortega was saying that as a Lakers fan, he doesn't want Kyrie on the team. He thinks he'll be a cancer to the team, cancer to the locker room. And the Lakers' biggest downfall last year wasn't personnel, it was health. I'm figuring out what's going on here. He said, I think there's something wrong with the line. He said someone hung up and okay, now let's try it again. I am not in the boat. I think you put the most talented people on the floor, period, and then go from there and do your best to manage their personalities. Because obviously Kyrie Irving is a head case. Obviously Ben Simmons is a head case. But you want the most talented people on the court, and then you deal with it internally. Hopefully a leader like LeBron James could help a situation like that. He's already done it before, so I actually think it would be a good fit. A good fit in my world is fitting in David Carl, the New Mexico United, onto this program. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Van, how are you, man?
Peachy, having a fun time. A lot of good guests today on Van and Friends. So the United won 3-0 last night, right?
2-1 was the final score.
It depends on who's keeping score, but the United scored all the goals.
That's a good point. Yeah, we played up in Tulsa yesterday. We scored 3 goals. They scored none, but unfortunately, one of those 2 goals was in our net. Fortunately, we scored more in their net than we did in our own, though.
That's a really important part of the game. United is on quite the amazing streak right now. Do you feel like you may never lose again?
I'm not going to tempt fate by replying to that in any sort of way. But I will say it's been a good run thus so far. United have only lost 1 time in the last 9 matches. That's the best run in the USL Championship. Moved up into 4th place in the Western Conference, and with that, several matches in hand on the teams that they're chasing. So plenty of opportunities to hop ahead of them. And right now, if the season were to end today, New Mexico United would host a playoff match for the first time in history.
That is amazing. I would love to see the Lab just drenched in black and yellow for a home playoff game. I could only imagine how raucous Rio Grande Credit Union Field, Isotope Stadium, a.k.a. the Lab, a.k.a. temporary New Mexico United's home, would be on a playoff game. Speaking of playoff games, what do we got left? 14 matches?
We've got 16 left.
16
so we
left.
Just got past the halfway point of the season, and we've got of those 16 rather, 8 of them are at home, so plenty of matches left to get to at the Lab, including Saturday night, which is the biggest night of the season, the regular season, which is Meow Wolf night. Should be a lot of fun.
Oh, that is going to be so much fun. What's going into Meow Wolf night? What's the special accoutrement? What are the special promotions?
Yeah, so a whole bunch of really great stuff. Among them, kind of the biggest draw of Meow Wolf night every single year is probably the costume contest. You have all of these fans, these incredible, creative New Mexicans who come together and create their own costumes, and there's some pretty high stakes on that. The winner of the costume contest wins a round-trip ticket to Las Vegas, to Meow Wolf in Las Vegas, so that covers your flight, it covers your tickets into Omega Mart, and it also covers your tickets to New Mexico United versus Las Vegas Lights in Vegas in October. So that's the grand prize. We have lots of people who participate. It's a lot of fun. Big tailgate that goes on out there as well, with everybody in costumes having a great time, having some adult beverages and some great food. And then in addition to that, the Meow Wolf jersey. That's one of the big ones too. So every year, New Mexico United puts out a different Meow Wolf jersey. This one just came out a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday it just came out. It'll go on sale for the first time tomorrow. It's this incredible jersey. We're calling it the Portals jersey with metallic. So it's black and white are the two different variations, but within each of those two variations, there's metallic blue and purple and silver, and it's a really cool looking jersey. So those will go on sale tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the team store for folks who want to have it for the match. I imagine they're going to go pretty quickly. They're a very limited edition, but those will be on sale tomorrow at 5 p.m.
As always, need to save me a schmedium New Jersey. I need a new kid.
For you, buddy.
I need to get some shorts is what I need. I got all these cool shirts and jerseys. I need some shorts, man.
Too. In England, if you're the person who wears the jersey and the shorts together, matching shorts, they call you a full kit wanker.
Full kit wanker? I've been called all kinds of wankers, but never a full kit wanker before, so I'm going to add that to my list.
An opportunity for you.
Back to the product on the pitch. It seems like in this amazing streak that United has going, and friends of the show, loyal listeners, if you don't know, New Mexico United is playing some amazing football right now. And what I appreciate about it is there's like a next man up culture. You're not doing it with the same 11 every week. You have a rich roster of people who contribute on all sides of the game. What's the key to the success here?
Yeah, I think that depth is a huge thing, right? In years past, we've had, some really talented players, and it's been really great, and we've, had some success. But something that head coach Zach Prince in his first year this year wanted to it's really been preaching is kind of that next man up mentality that you talked about there, right? So, when we're in a situation like we're in right now, where we have 5 matches over the course of 15 days, 25 days. It's 5 matches in 15 days. I apologize. We're going into our 5th match in 15 days. You got to have some rotation. You got to have some depth, or you're going to be in trouble. Last night was a great example of that. You saw a couple players in Radia Vuka, for example, who hasn't gotten a ton of time. He came in and provided the most important pass of the match. Mike Azira on that same pass takes that pass from Avuka. And crosses the ball across, just a beautiful one-time cross across the front of goal. And, then Alexi Swahi gets his first goal of the season, the defender, the center back, who's not necessarily known for his goal scoring. He gets the goal. 3 guys who haven't necessarily been up front in that way, they combine to make it happen. It's a lot of, next man up mentality. It's a lot of strength and a lot of, I think, New Mexican toughness, and it's pretty cool to see.
We love the product on the field, but here at 2 Men On, what we really love that New Mexico United does is what you guys do in the community. Somos Unidos Foundation and everything that goes around the foundation, we just will sing at the mountaintop and support everything you do. What does the foundation have going on in the community? How can friends of the show support what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Last week was Foundation Night, the game last Saturday night at the Lab, and we were really excited about that. The big announcement that came at halftime on the field was the gala. The ball is what we're going to be calling calling it. We'll play on words there, soccer ball. So it's a gala that New Mexico United is going to be running in September, and it's going to be unlike kind of any gala that you've probably ever been to. The theme there is kind of multiversal chic, if you will. So going to be a little bit weird, but a lot of fun. So great food, great opportunity to really support the foundation. The goal is to raise enough money to support the entire year of the foundation. So something that we're really excited about, and people can get their tickets right now if they go to theballnm.com.
Anything we didn't mention, Mr. Carl?
A big one you didn't mention, Van. New Mexico United announces a brand new signing today. Romario Williams, the forward from Jamaica, goal-scoring forward, has more than 50 goals to his name. He's a bit of a USL Championship legend. He joins United today. He's going to get to work in training, and we're excited to see him do that.
What's your guess? What do you think he's going to be on the pitch?
He'll play striker. As far as a when, my guess is probably about a week. That would be my guess. I'm hoping to see him in Detroit, but that'll be up to coaching staff and Zach and see what they think.
David Carl, New Mexico United, thanks for being a friend, and thanks for being a friend of the show. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Van. Have a good one, man.
You too, brother. When we get back, KRQE's very own, a way better Van Tate. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, a new crash to tell you about westbound on I-40 as you approach University. That is affecting your right lane. But between that crash and construction slowdowns a little further down westbound I-40, you've got slowdowns between San Mateo and Unser, and things are moving really slow. A lot of congestion. Watch out if you're traveling in that area. Elsewhere around town, southbound I-25, about San Antonio to Montgomery, still moving slow. Heading west on Paseo this afternoon, Jefferson and Coors, it's a slow go as well.
It's the Malloy Los Lunas used car blowout. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all priced to sell. Shop Malloy Ford, Chevrolet, and Jeep in Los Lunas. Do not miss this chance to save. MalloyLosLunas.com.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Maggie Gray with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. It's becoming clear that Sean Payton's shadow is going to loom over this football season. The latest is a Miami Herald report that Payton could still be interested in the Dolphins' job if Mike McDaniel falls flat. Dallas and the LA Chargers could also be intriguing. The one potential deal breaker for Payton, he wants full control over personnel decisions. Is that really something you can dictate to Jerry Jones and his family? I'm Maggie Gray.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Orlando Magic shocked the world when they selected Paulo Banchero with the number one pick overall. Pretty much everybody thought that Orlando would take Jabari Smith or Chet Holmgren, but then the betting line swung wildly towards Banchero. The Magic were so quiet on Banchero that just about nobody knew or believed. Nobody except Vegas. Further proof that Vegas knows all, and those guys know more about the game than the guys playing it or coaching it.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations. Things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Right now, you deserve the network more people rely on. That's why we're introducing Welcome Unlimited for just $30 a...
We got like 2.5 minutes.
With autopay plus taxes and fees. Our best price... Best unlimited plan ever.
Did he say $30?
Yep, $30 a line for the whole family. The network you want, the price you love. Switch to Verizon today. Paper-free billing required. Unlimited 5G nationwide 4G LTE. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. All smartphone lines on the account must be on Welcome Unlimited and are eligible only for select promotions. Includes domestic talk, text, and data usage only. Data roaming at 2G speeds.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life.
I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub.
It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors, and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Greatest invention ever.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
Got chronic joint pain, not having success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery? Well, thankfully, there's a better way, and it's now available here in Albuquerque for the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. It's Jeff Symbieta, and I'm talking about the new therapies, advanced all-natural biologics, regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in precision regenerative medicine with over 100 clinics across America and literally thousands of satisfied patients. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with these pains are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy options that can change your life. Call QC Kinetics now. Free consultation with local medical professionals. Give them a call at 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. QC Kinetics, 505-226-8688.
Right now, you deserve the network more people rely on. That's why we're introducing Welcome Unlimited for just $30 a line per month for 4 lines with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Our best priced unlimited plan ever.
Did he say $30?
Yep, $30 a line for the whole family. The network you want, the price you love. Switch to Verizon today. Paper-free billing required. Unlimited 5G nationwide 4G LTE. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. All smartphone lines on the account must be on Welcome Unlimited and are eligible only for select promotions. Includes domestic talk, text, and data usage only. Data roaming at 2G speeds.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life."
I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub.
It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors, and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Greatest invention ever.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
Take us with you. In your car, at work.
Why does it say pepper jam when there is no pepper jam?
In the bedroom. Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Just search KNML.
We're running behind, Amory. Cut the music. I don't know if our next guest knows this, but Two Men On got voted second best show starring a guy named Van. This is a true story. On the program now, KRQE's very own Van Tate. What's happening, my guy?
Hey man, what's going on, man? When you said "Hey Marie," I was thinking next I was gonna hear this one thing that got me tripping.
Do you know Amory, the one-hit wonder R&B singer?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey Marie, man, do you remember her?
That's you, Van. I remember her. I get told all the time.
Yeah.
I was thinking she was gonna go no. They do that in the song.
We're talking a little New Mexico fight night with KRQE's very own Van Tate. Michelle Watterson is getting down this weekend. Got a big match coming up on Saturday. What's her chances here? Is she going to keep the streak going?
We'll see, man. She needs to win. It'd be nice for her to get that because she's still trying to work her way up to contending for a title, and Amanda Lemos is somebody that she's very well familiar with because Lemos used to train here at Jackson and Wink.
Right.
And so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes, how that shakes out. But Michelle seems focused. I mean, she's a good sign is that she seems really loose. I don't know if you saw the Instagram post she had where she was dressed like an old lady and she had her daughter dancing with her. Oh man, it was a hoot. So, I mean, she seemed to be in the right spirits of not taking herself too serious and just like, let's go.
with a record of 18-9, 6-5 in the UFC. The karate hottie. What does like her doing well mean to Albuquerque and New Mexico?
Well, her doing well is just another face to put on the combat map, because like back in the day, when you had all these fighters coming out of New Mexico, Bobby Foster, Johnny Tapia, Danny Romero, on the boxing side of things, and then MMA, our very own Holly Holm and John Jones decided to train out of here. Like you got a reputation. Diego Sanchez, you can't leave him out. As Diego said in his own words, he's a conquistador of the boxing legends, the fighting legends. But you can't leave him out, and so there's some history here. So she would just be another person to add something else to it, because there's definitely a lot of on the resume. So she would just enhance it.
So Michelle was out for 14 months, and like to her, like she kind of thought that she might never come back, but that fire, just didn't go away, and here she is again. Like, can you talk a little bit about her resilience?
Yeah, that's how she is. I mean, even if you watch her fight, if she ever gets in trouble, it's like she gathers herself and gets back to it. She had a pretty career-threatening injury, which she still to this day keeps it undisclosed. But for her to even mention that it was career-threatening, it's real serious. And just to have the mentality, to have the mental capability to come back from something that's career-threatening, that you got to trust yourself again, no matter what the injury was, whether the knee or arm or whatever it is. You got to trust that it's going to work once it gets repaired like it used to. And that's kind of hard to do, man. Like you coming back from an ankle injury or whatever, when you first take off running, you're not running full speed. You kind of like, can I trust you? So that says a lot about her spirit of fight and how she wants to continue her career, her resiliency.
Austin, no doubt Trout, the king of Las Cruces, also fighting tomorrow, all the way in Germany. Is this like the biggest home field advantage you can have as a fighter, is making your opponent travel all the way across the world?
Well, Florin Cardos is the guy he's fighting, the Romanian fighter, and Trout has that I believe he's on the second or third fight of a 6-fight deal that he signed, where he's fighting for legacy, and they have those fights. Like either one of them was in Dubai, and this one's Germany. But like you go where they send you. If you're under contract,
sure,
you have to be where the fight goes. And Cardos is actually a secondary fighter, as far as the original plan had him fighting Mike Supan, and that I guess Supan injured himself or something didn't work out, and Cardos was put in. So in Austin, he seems like. He's saying all the right things. He just seems like he's really feeling good. His body had a chance to heal because he's been off for a little bit, and then he hasn't been as active as he has been like in the past, where he'd have a fight every so often, where it was consistent. But he, at the age of 36, he still feels like he can get in title contention and fight for a belt, because he's a former WBA light middleweight champion, and he's ranked 10th right now by the IBF. So he's in the ballpark.
I knew Austin in my days in Las Cruces, and Van, were up against it right here. He fights at 156, but he don't walk around at no 156. This dude, no. Anything else you're covering? Anything else you got going on, Van, before we let you go?
Hey man, you guys need to go to our website and check out Shane Dumas Sanchez. He's in the sports office this week, man. He's talking about, he went to that Pangos basketball camp, and he's been there.
We got like 10 seconds.
A solid showing, and the kid could, that kid hit threes like crazy.
He's gonna cut him off.
Turned it out for Del Norte like he always does. This is his final senior season. We talked about all of that, and about like him trying to.
You have to cut it off.
next level, trying to get to college.
KRQE's very own Van Tate, the man in the streets in Albuquerque, the best in the business. Thanks for being a friend, and thanks for being a friend of the show. Check out the KRQE website and everything Van covers. We're hitting the top of the hour, so we got to run. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sorry.
Congestion and slow-moving traffic.
Apologize, I didn't mean to cut him off. The commercial was starting.
If you're headed west on I-40 this afternoon. Also a crash to tell you about eastbound I-40. This one's a tramway. It is affecting multiple lanes, and we're seeing a lot of slowdowns headed east this afternoon as well. And westbound on Paseo, Jefferson to Coors, that is a slow go right now.
The basketball tournament is coming to the Pit starting July 18th. A team of former Lobos plays against Aggie alums in the first round. For TBT tickets, go to this station's website. Click the Sweet Deal logo. 2 tickets to the Lobo Aggie session are just $18. 2 all-session tickets.
He's great.
Are only $52.
If you see an accident, call the
Sorry about that.
line at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Psst. Hey, parents, did you hear that this little one napping right here can get the COVID vaccine? Yup, the vaccine is now available for every kid 6 months old and up. And of course, it's safe and effective. So talk to a medical provider to schedule an appointment. Visit vaccinenm.org/kids if you'd like to learn more.
We now have more ways to fight COVID than ever with oral treatments for individuals at high risk for severe COVID who test positive.
And they can be taken from the comfort of home.
These treatments, if taken within 5 days of the first sign of symptoms, are effective at reducing the risk of hospitalization and severe outcomes.
This is a game changer for New Mexico.
For more information and to access treatment, visit findatreatmentnm.com.
As part of the ongoing effort to keep the roads of New Mexico safe, we would like to share a list of things you should never attempt behind the wheel of your automobile.
Texting your friends, wrestling your friends, eating a sandwich, making a sandwich, hugging your kids, buckling your kids, brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, adjusting your seat, rubbing your feet, reading the paper, using a shaver, applying makeup, going to college.
A large number of car crashes occur when the driver is doing something other than driving. Drive safe, New Mexico.
Paid for by the New Mexico Department of Transportation and aired in cooperation with the NMVA and the station.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now betting for the Sports Animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
What it is, Duke City, 2 hours in the books, 1 hour to go. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Special Van and Friends episode. Big shout out to all our guests so far. Ed Nunez of Western New Mexico University and ProView Networks. Brandon Mason, Everything New Mexico Basketball. Talking about TBT. Geoff Grammer, the Albuquerque Journal. KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega. David Carl of New Mexico United. And you heard last segment, KRQE's Van Tate talking about some local fighters you need to keep an eye on this weekend. Coming up next segment, we got Voice of the Gladiators and ProView Network, Sebastian Noel. We're going to talk some NBA basketball with Izzy Gonzalez. And, of course, as always, before the Topes games, we got Voice of the Isotopes, Josh Suschon in our last segment. But now it's time for me and a friend to talk a little baseball.
Little baseball.
On the other side of the glass, super producer, amazing stand-up comedian, and all-around just above average human being.
Oh, thank you.
Just decent.
From the bullpen.
Just decent AF. A. Marie Castillo, thanks for doing everything today and letting me scream at a microphone.
It's fun. I like being pulled out of the bullpen to come to the afternoon. It's different. I've been here at all different times of the day now, and it's just fun any time of the day.
You know,
From morning
Amory,
to
I know
night.
you've been getting to know me a little better over the last year or so
Yes.
since you got back in the biz.
Mhm.
You got back to Albuquerque.
Mhm.
You know I love me some baseball.
Yes.
You know I love me some beer.
Yes.
And you know I love me a good time.
I mean, who doesn't?
And I think I have been outdone by this gentleman who at a Kansas City I just had a little brain fart here. Kansas City Royals baseball game ate one hot dog every half inning at Dollar Dog Night. And loyal listener, friend of the show, I don't know if you're a math guy, but that's 18 hot dogs in about 3 hours.
I mean, I want to see this person, and two, I mean, it's not like the Coney Island hot dog eating contest. Was he trying to break a record or something, or like what was going on? And I need to know, were there condiments involved, or was he doing that weird thing? Have you seen the thing where people like dip it in their beer?
Yes.
I don't understand, but that's pretty impressive.
I think the dipping, whether it be like water or Gatorade or beer or whatever, it's to break down the carbohydrates in the bun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so because you don't use all your saliva breaking down all the bread, so you can keep producing saliva to swallow this insane amount of hot dogs. That's why people do the dipping. But he's not a professional eater. But his name's Jack Shaw.
That's expensive too.
Well, luckily it was Dollar Dog Night.
I know, but still.
And he can't be
$18.
I don't think he could probably even buy beer yet. I was going to say, like, you need to, like, lube yourself up with a couple beers and use some beers to wash him down. But this kid looks 12. He looks like friggin' 12 years old, and he's smashing these dogs over and over again. So I think he's going to set a new standard. This is going to be, like, on TikTok and Instagram and, you know, all the other whatever people way younger and cooler than me use on their phone websites. But a dog every half inning for 9 innings. See if you can, like, survive. So it looks like at the 7th inning stretch, which at that point would have been 15 dogs, he looked like he was dying.
I'm sure he was sweating. Oh, I see it now.
The meat sweats?
Yes.
Yeah, the meat sweats are
even
a
as a
friggin' real
teenager,
thing.
like, come on, as a teenager, I could throw back some food.
You know, one of my
I could eat like a whole pizza.
I'm sure you know this guy. One of my favorite stand-up comedians, Doug Stanhope, said, "You know how you drank so much of one liquor that you can never drink it again?"
Oh, yes.
That's how he's going to quit drinking, one alcohol at a time.
Mine's Jameson.
Yours Jameson? You went too hard on Jameson one night?
In my 20s. That was just like, in my bartending days, I can't even smell it.
Yeah.
Like, and I even if someone offered me, and I don't, you know, who turns down free booze no matter what? I'm not bougie, but I cannot even fathom, like, I can't even look at it.
Yeah, and I'm the same way, and I did this, you know, statute of limitations is already lapsed, but I did this as like a 15-year-old Bacardi Limon one night, and I was just like throwing up that gross Bacardi Limon. Like, the way it smells, like gross and citrusy and fake, that's the way it tastes, and it tastes worse on the way up, obviously. So I ruined Bacardi Limon for myself, and the reason I bring this up is this kid, unless like he gets an endorsement deal or something, he'll probably never be able to eat a hot dog again.
Yeah, I don't know. And let's add on this little fact, okay? I know in AAA and stuff right now we got the pace of play, but for this game it was 2 hours and 44 minutes, which is like a fast-paced game.
Yeah.
So that adds even more to it. But I guess you don't want to slow down your pace, so it's probably easier to eat at a faster pace and like slow down and get full. I don't know, but that's crazy.
Yeah, and he's, like I said, I'll say it again, like, he's not a competitive eater. Like, this isn't like what he does. Like, he's just not there showing off his chops for like TikTok votes. He like thought of the idea and said, "Bro, I can do it." His bro said, "Bro, no, you can't."
Oh,
and
you know that's
he
what
said,
happened.
"Watch me do it."
On $18.
$18. If you're gonna get yourself sick, at least you did it for less than $20.
Totally. Because I was gonna say, dang, could you imagine? Ugh.
So kudos to
Jake
Hot
Shaw.
Dog Kid.
Jack Shaw.
Yeah, Jack Shaw. Which, I mean, is that like the new superhero name?
I guess.
That sounds like a superhero pseudonym, like Captain America, aka Jack Shaw.
I told you too. The other adult, I guess, challenge. Maybe he stole it from our superhero here, from Jack Shaw. If you can have one hot dog and one beer for 9 innings, most dudes can't do it. They like start throwing up on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, I would be into that one because I know for a fact I can handle 9 beers. The problem for me would be getting those 9 dogs down.
Yeah, especially because you don't eat meat.
Well, yeah, I mean they got
besides that.
Yeah, they got veggie dogs like at all the stadiums, but that's so much food. Like even
that's
like
a lot.
The casing, like hot dog casings, or like even veggie dog casings, like they're not made out of pig intestine like real hot dogs are.
Yeah.
Like it's just like this fake skin.
Like that would definitely 9 beer challenge.
Yeah, just give me like, can I just like eat some food before the game and then do the 9 beer challenge? That I'd be down for.
That's a pricey one right there.
Also, like you got to like escort me out. By the way, when I get out of that chair, it's not going to be pretty.
No, absolutely not.
Also, what's the rules? What's the criteria here? Like, can you have a catheter? Like, can you have like Depends on? Do you have adult diapers on? Because that's a lot of liquid.
You know how you can get cut off from like alcohol? I wonder if they'll cut you off from food.
Oh, good point.
You know what I mean? Like most time they're like, all right, buddy, you've had enough.
Yeah, what is it? Is it, I forget, what's the isotopes cut off? Is it 4 dogs? No, it's 6 dogs a trip.
Really?
You can get 6 dogs a trip.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You can only get 6 dogs a trip?
Yes.
I can understand maybe like 2 beers a trip. I know that's usually the rule in Albuquerque, like 2 drinks per
Yeah, that's
person.
legally, like that's how much alcohol you can carry around. But on 50-cent dog night, because we're AAA, you can get 6 at a time. You can't take more than that. So you'd have to have like an assistant. You'd have to have a friend like going to concessions and like, procuring your next rounds of hot dogs. Because I think if you're sitting there like eating that much, you don't have time to get up, right? Like you need an assistant.
Oof.
You need an accomplice. You need a friggin' enabler to do.
We got a 6-minute break.
By the way, like, are you super down? Like, should we do the 9 beer challenge sometime?
Can I do the 9 beer, but not 9 hot dog?
Yeah.
I'll probably need some hot dogs after 9 beers.
Yeah,
but...
before and after, for sure.
Yeah. Before I get in that Uber.
Or like some hot dogs before, and then like something horrible after, like Taco Bell or like Allsup's burritos after, because you're going to be so hammered after 9 beers. And it's not like 9 12-ounce Bud Lights. They're like 20, 22-ounce ballpark beers.
So maybe it's
like,
one of those
are
ending.
significant.
Yeah, one of those ending would be crazy. All right, I'm down.
But if I'm actually drinking at the ballpark, i.e. Rio Grande Credit Union Field, a.k.a. Isotope Stadium, a.k.a. The Lab, I am drinking watermelon walk-off or mariachi margarita or blueberry lavender lemonade or grapefruit hibiscus lemonade, because these pre-made canned cocktails, not only are they friggin' delicious, they are the best bang for the buck at Isotope Stadium. For 10 or 12 bucks, however much it costs, you get a 12-ounce cocktail, and it's got 2 shots of vodka in it. So that's basically 2 mixed drinks in one. So whenever I'm at the Lab, I'm drinking Watermelon Walk-Off by Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. When we get back, one of my favorite guests and one of my favorite dudes in the Albuquerque sports landscape, voice of the Duke City Gladiators and ProView Network, Sebastian Noel, joins us on the program. Stoked for this one. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Are you ready to make home homier? Get it done with home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union can help with a home equity loan or line of credit. Learn more at kirtlandfcu.home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. You belong.
That was such a smooth segue.
This report.
I saw where you were going there. I was like, oh, he did it.
Well, all right, traffic.
That was good.
40
To get cut off. I mean, MLB is important, but hot dog, that was very important.
It out that way. Also, crash cleanup going on right now. Eastbound I-40 at Tramway. That one's affecting multiple lanes. You got backups starting at Wyoming. And westbound on Paseo, we're still seeing some slowdowns between Jefferson and Coors. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
I enjoy watching guys who are not first-round picks, and Draymond Green, exceed expectations. I love smaller guys, Steph Curry, who can take over games. They are the closest to the Showtime Lakers of anything I've ever seen. I just flat out enjoy watching them when they look like they're having fun. They're the closest thing I've ever seen to the Showtime Lakers.
Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. That looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Okay, import footage. How is the hard drive already full? Jawan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes. MPEG. But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin. It says render failed. What I do? Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, import footage. How is the hard drive already full? Jawan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes. MPEG. But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin. It says render failed. What I do? Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by
Do you want me to call Sebastian?
Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather.
We have like 2.5 minutes.
But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you could feel better and look better, and it could all start with one phone call? Guys, that's reality if you call NewMail. It's Jeff Symbieta. And gentlemen, for a while I've been telling you about NewMail, how thousands of men all over the country feel better because they went to NewMail and took care of things like fatigue, depression, even erectile dysfunction. Well, thousands of men are also taking advantage of NewMail's industry-leading hair restoration techniques. Hair restoration without side effects. Here's the number, 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or go to NewMail, NUMALE.com. You have options. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair.
Not like a minute 30.
A clear clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants producing natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. And it works for men and women who want natural, thicker hair. 505-652-1688 or online at newmail.com.
Record-breaking temperatures forecasted this summer. Unhealthy air quality due to wildfire smoke. New Mexico is in a mega drought.
Enhance your comfort, air quality, and save water with refrigerated air from Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Start your refrigerated air project today. Daniels offers best-in-the-business warranties, expert installers, and superior equipment. And the hassle of climbing onto your roof to replace swamp cooler parts and start enjoying the comfort and reliability of an air conditioning system that works for you. Learn more at danielshvacnm.com.
Are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Listen carefully because now there are new regenerative treatments available here. Hey, it's Jeff Symbieta. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, is now open, giving lasting relief to people with joint pain using the latest in precision medicine with natural biologics. It's an exciting, non-surgical approach that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints and get you moving again. QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics nationwide and has treated thousands of patients with an incredible success and satisfaction rate. If you've got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, you need to check out these new treatments. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, no surgery. Call now to schedule your free consultation with local medical professions at QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. That's 505-226-8688.
The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Duke City. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. It's a Fredless Thursday. Fred Slow is out on assignment, doing some RMAC biz out in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He'll be back with us Monday. Make sure you check out the boys tomorrow live at Hollow Spirits from 4 to 7. Myself, Van Nunley, and Robert Buck D. Gibson will be at Hollow Spirits. Come take advantage of some drink specials that are only there when the boys are there. And don't miss New Mexico United watch parties at Hollow Spirits every time your New Mexico United is on the road. A team that's not on the road on Saturday is your Duke City Gladiators, and joining us right now is the voice of the Gladiators and voice of ProView Networks, friend in real life, friend of the show, Sebastian Noel. What's happening, guy?
Hey, I'm excited to be with you. Since A. Marie is here, does this make the show award-winning adjacent?
Oh,
you're exactly right.
Man of the people.
That is right.
Bingo. Bing bong.
Hey, a little break the fourth wall here, a little behind-the-scenes stuff here. Nothing that's going to incriminate you, Sebastian, I promise. But Sebastian Noel is my favorite contributor to the show. Not only is he amazing on air, but what I really appreciate, Sebastian, is you're basically a ghostwriter for me and Fred, like sending us those hot takes behind the scenes and not allowing us to say them on air. Like, I really appreciate what you do behind the scenes. Like, you're like a Batman, like just flying through the dark and helping your community.
And you do a great job of filtering out the ones that I definitely could never be associated with.
100%.
So I appreciate that you guys never read my name on some of those.
Yep.
So you guys always take care of your boy. And you do a good job of filtering them, cleaning them up. I mean, you guys do a great job with that.
Yeah, we're pretty good at like taking other people's art and punching it up a bit. I had a teacher in college, a creative writing teacher, and he said, "Good writers borrow, great writers steal." So thank you for letting me steal from you, Sebastian.
Yeah, if you guys wanted to torpedo my career and reputation, you could just drop my name by some of the stuff I sent you, and I appreciate that you don't do it.
Or I could just like send the police screenshots of our text threads. I mean, there's also that.
Yeah, there is that. That's true.
Your Duke City Gladiators have a home match, the last match of the year, on Saturday at the Rio Rancho Event Center. They've already guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Will a win on Saturday affect the standings?
Well, in football we call them games, so I need you to get out of United mode for this conversation. But there is a slight chance that we could move up to the third spot. It would take a win from us, and it would take Tucson beating the Bay Area Panthers, the one-win Bay Area Panthers, and then we would move up to the 3 seed. But the likelihood of that happening is kind of akin to Fred Slow beating Bob Costas for a sports Emmy. Like, it's not going to happen.
Unlikely is what you're saying.
Yes.
If you like long odds, that's your bet.
Yeah, if you're a little amateur gambler, hey Marie, looking at you, that would be the long shot to throw in the parlay.
Also, is there a chance that Arizona and Northern Arizona can flip-flop and we might be seeing a different opponent the first week of the playoffs?
I don't see that happening. And we're going to get the Rattlers. That's going to be the 1-4 matchup for sure. So that's the matchup. And I know the Gladiators had a press conference today, and a lot of the guys are already starting some Rattlers talk, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of tells you how little this weekend's game means in the standing. They're already kind of getting themselves ready to finally beat the Rattlers for the first time in history.
Yeah, contributor to Two Men On, an offensive lineman of the Duke City Gladiators, Jordan Mosley, is already hungry for a little rattlesnake. He wants some fried rattlesnake on his plate and come home winners in 2 weeks.
Well, he just really hates the Rattlers head coach, Kevin Guy. And, well, who doesn't really, right? I mean,
I think everyone except for his mom, and maybe his mom, hates him.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's just ask around in the IFL who doesn't hate Kevin Guy.
So what's the key to the matchup this weekend? How do the boys leave with a W and get ready for the playoffs?
Well, one thing that's going to be a little tough is, and I know they didn't talk about it at all today, but the team did release Dello Davis this week, so it's the end of an era here in Albuquerque. So I did want to mention that because Dello is obviously the leading receiver in franchise history. He's the best receiver in the league, and this looks like it's going to be the end of the Dello Davis era. Well, that being said, I think the key to victory, Jared Elmore touched on it during the press conference today, is they got to clean up special teams, and they've been working on it a lot. So when they've played Arizona and when they've played Northern Arizona, the two big guns in the Western Conference, the special teams has been just not good. There's no sugarcoating it. And Jared talked about that at the press conference today, and they've really been working on it. If they can clean that up, I think that they're good to go. They'll beat this Northern Arizona team. They got off to a big lead against them last time they played, and then, some special teams blunders in the second half, and, we know how that ended.
So a two-parter here. Rookie quarterback Ramon Atkins. It seems like he's got his sea legs, right? And then follow up with that, like how big did it help his improvement to have a legend like Nate Davis helping him through the process?
You can't call Ramon a rookie anymore because he is leading this league in passing yards and the learning curve. I mean, wow, just amazing. Literally the game, it took him about a game and a half, and then you could see, okay, he's comfortable. And I did not anticipate that. And if any coach is being honest with you, I don't think they would have anticipated that. So to see Ramon just grasp this game so quickly, it's just been amazing. And I'm sure a huge part of that has to be because of Nate Davis being right there, teaching him the way and as a mentor and as a friend. But, all credit to Ramon. I mean, you got to put in a lot of extra work to be ready that quickly, to look that comfortable that quickly, and obviously Ramon has done that.
Check out your Duke City Gladiators this Saturday at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Last home game. Well, there's chances there might be another one, but pretty much last home game of the year this year. Support your dudes on their way out of the regular season and get them hyped up and ready for the playoffs. If you don't have tickets yet, I'll tell you what, you can come to Hollow Spirits tomorrow, and we'll have a stack of tickets for you, friend of the show and loyal listener. Sebastian, Braves homer, biggest Braves homer I know. The two biggest all-star snubs to me was ex-Brave Freddie Freeman and current Brave Austin Riley. How did they get jacked?
Yeah, I mean, Austin Riley, that's a big one. That one's a little baffling to me. And I don't, that other guy you mentioned, who's that? I don't recall that. And Matt Olson obviously is having a great season, but that other guy, when you don't have Braves Nation behind you anymore, those votes don't add up as quickly as they used to.
Yeah, it looks like just like showing up to the game, the Los Angeles Dodgers voters were late to the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Freddie's had a nice season over there. I mean, if we're being honest, and that's an all-star if there's ever been one. But there's a few scouts in each league, but Austin Riley, that was a big one.
So besides the New York Yankees, who are world beaters, and besides my beloved cheating-ass Astros, your Atlanta Braves might be the best team in baseball the last month. Since the last time we spoke, they went from about 10 games back to now 2.5 games back, and now they're leading the wild card by 5.5 games. What's been the key to their surge?
Well, unlike those other two teams that you mentioned, we draft and develop them, right? No paying trash cans in the background, no going deep into the luxury tax. Just young talent, being able to lock up young talent, with Acuna back in the lineup. I mean, we're missing Ozzy Albies. I'm wondering if they're going to make a trade to replace Albies. But the pitching has been very good. They get Soroka back. back towards the end of the year. I mean, this is a good club. You know, this is a good club, even though they lost some pieces from the World Series team. I have a couple of friends that are Mets fans, and they begrudgingly, they know how this movie ends. The Mets will start to map down the stretch, and the Braves will again be the division champ.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that, but it's also hard to argue that the New York Mets have been in first place, and they've done it without Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. To me, that's scary. No one wants to play the Mets in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true, man. But no, how many games have they played now? It's getting close to that time where players really start hating Buck Showalter, right?
Yeah.
So it'll happen.
Next spring is 4 months.
That is absolutely hilarious. Anything else to hit us with before we're out of here, Sebastian?
Well, you know, I did want to mention Van at the end there. Van Tate talked about that interview he did on his sports desk there with Shane Dumas Sanchez, and that is a really good interview. I had a chance to check it out today. Shane kind of talked about how when he walks into these gyms, he's this little scrawny 6'1" kid. He's this Native American kid, right? So all these other top 80 players, they look at him and they're not impressed, right? They're like, oh, who's this kid? And then he just uses that, and it fuels him to cook them. And, you know, it was a really, really good interview that my friend Van Tate there did with Shane. So if you havenent checked it out on the KRQE website, I would just ditto his sentiments and definitely go check that out.
Sebastian Noel, voice of the Duke City Gladiators and your ProView Networks. Thanks for being a friend, and thanks for being a friend of the show, my dude.
All right, guys. Hopefully I'll see you out there on Saturday.
Oh, you know it. I'll be there. When we get back, NBA contributor Izzy Gonzalez joins us. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Telling it like it is.
And so now we look at Cleveland and we look at Baker Mayfield, and we have a final report card. He completed 61% of his throws, had a passer rating at 87.8, and a lousy TD interception ratio less than 2 to 1. That's what he is. Colin, that's unfair. That's unfair. Colin, he's a terrible coach.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 1 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal.
Hi, I'm Flo from Progressive. Being a baseball fanatic like me can be stressful. It's not all sports points and touchdowns. So Progressive is going to help you take your mind off your team for a moment. Instead of thinking about how they missed that goal point score, think about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, letting you choose coverage options based on your budget, unlike your team that missed the end zone net area. Well, anyway, hope this distraction about Progressive's Name Your Price tool was helpful. It sure kept me from thinking about all those penalty balls. Yay, sports!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Pete's property manager just took an extended vacation. He needs a replacement before this becomes a cruel summer.
You going at the lakefront for the 17th? How did this get booked already?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready to make home homier? Get it done with home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union can help with a home equity loan or line of credit. Learn more at kirtlandfcu.org/home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. You belong. An equal housing lender. Membership eligibility required.
Psst. Hey, parents, did you hear that this little one napping right here can get the COVID vaccine? Yup. The vaccine is now available for every kid 6 months old and up. And of course, it's safe and effective. So talk to a medical provider today to schedule an appointment. Visit vaccinenm.org/kids if you'd like to learn more.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/L/pro-loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Sports are easy to disagree on. Let's see what happens when sports talk hosts talk about something they agree on.
No, hold on. I'm saying drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Well, I disagree. I think drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Come on. Wait, I think we're saying the same thing.
Oh, so what do we do now?
Everyone agrees that drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings by new customer surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2020 and May 2021. Potential savings will vary.
Got chronic joint pain, not having success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery? Well,
I'm back in a minute.
better way, and it's now available here in Albuquerque for the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. It's Geoff Grammer, and I'm talking about the new therapies, advanced all-natural biologics, regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in precision regenerative medicine with over 100 clinics across America and literally thousands of satisfied patients. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with these pains are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy options that can change your life. Call QC Kinetics now. Free consultation with local medical professionals. Give them a call at 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. QC Kinetics, 505-226-8688.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
There's only one road, and there's only one home for road.
But I can't control what some of these people say.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Welcome back to the program, Albuquerque. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Special Van and Friends episode of Two Men On, as Fred Slow is on assignment. Lucky for me, I got the super talented, super funny sports genius A-Marie Castillo on the other side of the glass.
Thanks for having me today, Van.
Absolutely. It is absolutely my honor. And just as honored as I am to have you on the other side of the glass, I am absolutely honored to have OG friend of the show, Izzy Gonzalez, your basketball insider, back on the program. What's happening, Izzy?
How's it going? It's been a while.
It has been a while. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago that me and Fred were feeding you hot takes, beak to beak, like a proud mother roadrunner.
Look how far I made it. I appreciate that.
I literally became friends with her like today, Van. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Like we literally got connected through women in media, and we became like friends like today. And then you told me she was gonna be on the show.
Oh, how funny!
How
Small
weird is
world.
that?
We've been planning to hang out.
Miss everything basketball. Your basketball insider, Izzy Gonzalez. Are you still up in the summer league? You still over there in Vegas hanging out?
No, just got back.
Just got back.
But yeah, still following it, but just got back.
So I believe you have some breaking news to share with the world. A little ba 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 ba.
Well, I didn't break them, but I'm sure most basketball fans by now have heard about DeAndre Ayton. So that's been kind of the biggest piece of free agency that we were all waiting to solve, and that happened today. So he did agree to the $133 million 4-year max offer with the Indiana Pacers. So that meant the Suns had 48 hours to match it, and if they didn't, then they would just have to let him go for nothing. So it was very expected that the Suns matched it, and they just did, like 10 minutes before I got on the phone with you. So that's what's going on there.
So DeAndre Ayton got a 4-year max extension going back to the Suns. Was this kind of expected from the beginning? Is this kind of like posturing in between general managers? Like, we know the Suns are going to give him a max contract. The Pacers are going to give him the max to drive up the bargain, or is Phoenix always his home? What's your vibe?
So Ayton did play really well with the Pacers. They are currently rebuilding, and if they had him, they were going to have a young backcourt, but he was going to be part of like that centerpiece of their rebuilding process, and he was going to be pairing up pretty well with Halliburton. But Phoenix also really wanted him, and the Suns have been looking good, last season, the previous one too. So they kind of, it made sense to keep him. He averaged 17.2 points and 10.2 rebounds per game. He's been averaging double figures in both of those stats since like 2018. So he's a good one to keep for sure. And if they didn't match it, like I said, they just had to leave him for nothing. So that was definitely expected. They had 48 hours to do it, and they did it in a matter of hours.
Please tell me what is going on with the Utah Jazz organization. They have 2 star players, 2.5 star players, and they're competitive every year. One of the best centers in the league, Rudy Gobert, is gone. You know, to be fair, they did get an amazing haul for him, but it's insane to me why you would blow it up when you're so successful. What's going on in Utah?
I don't know. I think we're all wondering the same thing. I think NBA offseason overall is just kind of wild. But I was just as shocked as you. I don't really have any inside information as to why they make their decisions. But yeah, do you have any hot takes on that?
I don't. Like, are they? Because they're obviously not trying to sell the organization, or they would keep their valuable pieces. You don't blow it up and then put the team out on the market. So I don't know. Maybe they they have like a golden opportunity here to get rid of 2. I mean, what position do you consider Donovan Mitchell? Like, he's a guard hybrid, but he's probably a top 5 shooting guard in the league. Rudy Gobert is a top 5 center in the league. I can't fathom why you would get rid of these guys unless you know there's an absolute coup coming and you're trying to get ahead of it. So me personally, I don't know. More in the rumor mill, like what do you honestly think is going to happen with the Brooklyn Nets and KD and Kyrie?
Right. So just real quick on the Jazz, like they
Sure.
are open to trading all their veterans right now, so we'll see how that goes. But the Nets, that's another super messy situation. But the rumors right now, obviously when KD first announced he wanted a trade, that was like huge. So every team was kind of calling, but there were not really any great offers. So at this point, he still has like 4 years left in his contract, which means the Nets really kind of have the upper hand here. They're not really in any rush to do anything if there's not a good offer. So at this point, we're kind of getting the feeling that they are considering just keeping Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving for next season. So that's kind of what's going on, unless there's a better offer. But when the news broke out about the trade, he just wanted a couple of teams. I think it was like the Suns and Miami, maybe. There was not really any offers right now. Even the Lakers at some point were considering having both of them, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but there was no way they were going to be able to put a good enough package for that. So at this point, what's expected to happen is that the Nets are likely going to keep them unless something else happens, any other good offer.
All right, Izzy, put on your GM hat real quick. As talented as Kyrie Irving is on the court, do you think it's worth acquiring a head case like that? He's done nothing but divide the locker room. He's never on the court. He can't make your team better because he's not there, and when he is there, he's a headache. Is his talent worth taking on the headache?
I would think so, but it depends on the right fit. I know at some point the Lakers were also just looking at him, even if Kevin Durant was in there. And we know how he stirred up with
another 4-minute break.
At some point, you have to kind of take that chance because he is very talented. And I think when he is in the right mental space, he will be successful. So I would take that chance, but I understand if someone wouldn't want to do it. I know the offers for him were in, he didn't have that many. He's not the hottest player right now. Teams probably understand how difficult it could be to work with him. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at.
So you've been in Vegas at the Summer League, and besides Chet Holmgren's coming out party in his first game, what really stood out to you in what you've seen so far?
Well, the main team I was following there were the Lakers because I was really interested in Scottie Pippen Jr. and Shareef O'Neal. I think because of their father's names, there were really big expectations for them, but they are very different players from their dad. So it was just cool to see how they were playing against other NBA-level talent. Scottie Pippen Jr., very impressive. He is a lot shorter than his dad is. He's 6'3", his dad's 6'8". So he doesn't have that height, but he is very fast. He's good. Very impressive. Shareef O'Neal, he did not play as much in the California Classic. I think he averaged less than 2 minutes there. So there wasn't lots of expectation for him to play that much in Summer League. But the first day, people were sort of trash talking him on Twitter. You know, everyone comparing him to stats. Second game, he did a lot better. So I do think he has that talent. We have to remember that he went through, some stuff with his heart. So that obviously set him back a little bit. But both are really fun players to watch. Also with the Lakers, Cole Slider was really impressive. Very good shooter, good handles. Devonta McCoy, also really good shooter. So the Lakers have a lot of awesome young talent there. And other than Lakers, I would say Paolo Banchero, obviously. I think we were watching him. It was exciting. And some Mountain West players, too. Keita was really fun to watch. He kind of trash talked with Banchero a little bit. That was awesome. Roddy from Colorado State, really talented, too. He's kind of a crowd favorite now. So, yeah, lots of good players. It was cool. It was really cool.
Well, I got one more for you. We're up against a break, so let's try to make it a quickie. So from the 2022 NBA draft, I think you got 3 no-doubt players at the top. So who do you think is going to have the best career out of the first 3 picks? And then number 2, who do you think was the steal of the draft?
That is really tough. I do think Paolo Banchero was, a great choice. He has played kind of like what we expected. Kind of on that note, I guess, like Ted Holmgren, people were kind of iffy on him, but I think he kind of proved that, yes, he can do it. I know he's skinny, but he, it's just going to be a development thing. The steal of the draft, I don't know yet. I think, Scottie Pippen wasn't drafted, but I would say he's a good one for the Lakers to have signed that 2-way contract. Because, going undrafted, that's sort of like, he didn't get that chance, so I'm glad he did. He's definitely one that maybe could have been drafted. I don't know.
Izzy, NBA basketball insider, NCAA basketball insider. Thanks for contributing to the program. Where can the friends of the show follow you?
CBS Sports. You can just click on my name and start looking at all my stories. I do lots of basketball, but I've done things like tennis, and I'm on the trending desk, so lots of random stuff. And then on Twitter at @IsabelG.
All right, you heard it there, friends of the show. Follow Izzy Gonzalez. She is just a wealth of knowledge and talent in the basketball world. Hey, good to talk to you again. We need to hang out soon.
For sure. Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Absolutely. When we get back, Voice of the Isotopes, Josh Suschon. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to BP Melt Burrito. This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
This is Maggie Gray with the CBS Sportsman. It's sponsored by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous with Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Bobby Marks said recently he expects the NBA to investigate James Harden and the 76ers. Harden elected to opt out of the final year of his contract to reportedly take a $15 million pay cut this year. Former minority owner Michael Rubin recently sold his shares of the 76ers and is a close friend of Harden's. Could a sweetheart Dale be waiting where Harden makes up his losses with investments from Rubin? I'm Maggie Gray.
It's Coach Ice-T. Who's ready to spin? We're starting with a big hill. Let's ride.
Why is Ice-T leading our spin class?
It's probably the Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
That's right, Buzz. Now, spinners, really pour your heart into it and pick it up.
Learn more by picking up a box of Cheerios and check out our Pour Your Heart Into It audio workouts with Ice-T and Buzz to get your heart pumping.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Now's your chance for a refresh with savings up to $500 off select computers, like the XPS and select Alienware systems, taking performance to the next level with Intel Core processors. Plus, shop special deals on top accessories. Great financing available with a Dell Preferred account and free shipping. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Is your job recession-proof?
Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
It's summer here in New Mexico, and it's time to be outside having fun with your family and friends. You want to live it up, but it's got to be done safely. This is especially true when it comes to drinking.
Don't crash the party, no.
If you're drinking, don't be driving.
Don't crash the party.
Together, we can end DWI. Brought to you by NMDOT.
Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. Beat the heat before you hit the road with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wrangler is made for those moments when your heart says go and you follow it beyond what's expected. Because when the heart calls, you gotta be ready in jeans that are made to move and built to last. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
No matter what the sport is, defense matters.
So you'll have like 7.5 minutes with him.
The booster shot.
It's a hard out. Like Jared puts a strict button. I can't even do anything.
By BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey,
There's an alarm clock.
Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents each. Plus, 2 pocket paper folders are only 25 cents each. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. N716 in store only, limit 30.
Are you amped?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, bro. The Jim Rome Show is up next at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Duke City. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610's The Sports Animal. We are live in the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio, and we play on Team I-9. Team I-9 League Office 280. Your kiddos interested in sports, interested in anything at all in the Albuquerque community, Team I-9 can help them. They're the best at teaching. They're the best at keeping your kids safe. Again, that is i9sports.com, League Office 280. You can email at leagueoffice280@i9sports.com or get out your old cellular telephone. Give them a call at 505-312-4999. Wrapping up a fun show today, special Van and Friends episode of 2 Men On. Shout out to Ed Nunez of Western New Mexico and ProView Networks, Brandon Mason of the basketball tournament, Geoff Grammer of the ABQ Journal, Brandon Ortega of KOB-TV, David Carl, New Mexico United, Van Tate of KRQE, Sebastian Noel of the Duke City Gladiators and ProView Networks, Izzy Gonzalez, NBA Insider, and now friend of the show, friend in real life, frequent contributor, voice of the Isotopes, Josh Suschon. What's happening, my guy?
Saving the best for last.
You know it.
Someone's got to close out the broadcast.
In 5 minutes.
Bring in the closer. Hey, start
I think
playing.
there's a pitch clock for this closing segment.
there is. We only got 5 minutes. But start playing Enter Sandman right now. The closer's coming in. So, hey, there's not double-digit run-scoring games when you're at sea level. The dudes have been pitching out there in Sacramento.
Yeah, we are 38 feet above sea level, not 3,800 feet, not 380 feet. We are 38 feet above sea level. And it's a much different game. It's a totally different game. It's a 5-2, 5-4, 5-3. You feel like you get a couple of runs and you're in the 6th or 7th inning and you feel like, you've got this game in hand as long as you catch it the final few innings. It's totally different, and it's a nice welcome break for the other high-scoring games that we play, and it's good for the guys. You got to learn how to play in every different type of atmosphere.
Hey, real talk. Like, I miss being at the lab. I miss you. I miss baseball being here in Albuquerque. 2 weeks away is too long for me.
2.5 weeks, including the not all-star break.
Oh, that's right. I got to tack on another 4 days. Great. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, so here's the thing. It all evens out, right? At the end of the season, we play the same number of home games and the same number of road games, and there's always these quirks in the schedule where you're home a lot. I mean, the bad news is we're gone for 2.5 weeks. The good news is we're home for 9 days. We're gone for 6, and we're right back home for 6. And then in September, we have 12 straight home games in a row. It all evens out, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Well, I can't wait for you to be back. I miss me some time at the lab. You know how I love being up there. Who's on the bump tonight? Who's in the lineup? Who's going to be your big performers this evening?
Sean Bouchard's back in the lineup. He is starting a rehab assignment. He's the guest for Isotopes on Deck. Just got finished talking with him. And so we discussed him getting called up to make his major league debut. And then 3 days later getting hurt and being sidelined for the last 3 weeks or so. So I'm excited to have Sean back with us. Now, here's the thing about streaks in the minor leagues. When you go to the major leagues and you come back, the streak restarts.
Oh, yeah.
So Sean Bouchard will restart a 26-game on-base streak. And look, he was absolutely on fire when he got called up. I mean, it was ridiculous what he was doing in the league. And so now he's back, and we'll see if he can keep the streak going, and we'll see how long it takes for him to get right back up to the big leagues again.
Rocky's first baseman and biggest steal of my fantasy draft, CJ Crone, is going to be an all-star this year. But when that happens, sometimes you get some snubs. Los Angeles Dodgers star Freddie Freeman will not be an all-star despite leading the league in WAR in the first base position. Are there any other snubs this year that stood out to you?
Well, here's the thing about whoever gets snubbed. They always end up in the all-star games. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody just decides they really don't want to show up, and they're going to pretend like they're hurt. Most of the time, their injuries are real. So for all the people who get snubbed, there's only so many spots. And the rosters are already enormous. He'll end up on someone's – look, I mean, CJ Crone hasn't played a lot lately, right? He got hit in the wrist. He might need a replacement. Someone else might need a replacement. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
Freeman's going to be.
You guys have a little over a minute until they cut you off.
He's the replacement, and the replacement needs a replacement. So Freddie Freeman might sneak in there. For me in the American League, it's Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays. He's literally leading the whole league in WAR, and he's not even one of the 12 best pitchers. Like, this is insane to me.
There's only so many spots, though, So here's the other thing. Because every team needs at least one representative, that affects who gets in, right? If the only one who's somewhat worthy from your team is a pitcher, well, that's one less spot for Kevin Gausman.
Yeah, I mean, good for Pittsburgh. They might not have had an all-star for the last 20 years if it wasn't for this rule.
And I like this rule. There's a lot of times as a kid when I was growing up in the Bay Area, and it's cool to see a guy from the Oakland A's on there, even if you know in your heart he probably doesn't deserve to be there. It's still cool that there's at least one representative from every team. I like that rule. Look, it's an exhibition game. It's for the fans. I like that the fans vote for the starters. I like that there's at least one from every team, so that when they line up and they go through everyone, and you're like, all right, that's my guy. That's the guy for my team.
Is the expectation for Sean to go back up after the rehab?
To be honest, my guess is that he's going to stay with us, right? Because he's been out for a while and he was barely there, and so I mean they probably want him to be on fire again, like he was before. I mean, look, just today.
Josh, we're right up against it. We want to hear you talk more about this on the pregame show. I suck at time zones. When does it start?
We start at 7:25 Mountain, 6:25 here in Sacramento because they're going to do a 45 start time for Sunday.
Okay, 45 tonight. That means you get Josh Suschon in the pregame show, 25 after. Hey, good luck tonight for the boys. I'll be rooting for you, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow, Josh.
All right, very good. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks for all the special guests today. Thanks for all the contributors. Thanks for all the text, personal, and in Facebook Live and on the text line.
20 seconds.
To A. Marie for joining and doing such an amazing job today. Can't wait to have you sit in again. I understand you're back next week. Okay. Loyal listener, friends of the show, more A. Marie on 2 Men On next week. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow, Burke.
The opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
How did Andre Iguodala earn NBA Finals MVP of that series?
That should have been Steph's MVP. Well, they should really retroactively